actually done any of it.
Saw that Matthew's been running a bunch of groups.
Yeah.
Some people didn't make it.
He had his first one that didn't make it, which, like, most of them, like, brag about how small their percentage is. Like, oh, we only have a 10% success rate, you know, good luck. So, I mean, he wants them to, like, feel like they, you know, I think he doesn't want to make it too hard so people feel like they've accomplished something. So he's going for the more, you know, plus he has the bonus room thing.
So as a escape room, I don't know, experts.
Yeah.
So let's say you have escape rooms that you didn't complete.
Right.
Do you have the desire to like do it again to actually complete it? Would that be something like because you like? I mean, like if you were super close, would that seem worthwhile to you?
No, because two things. One, it's a lot of money to do something you've already done.
But if you're like really like I want to beat that.
But two, like they tell you how the answers at the end.
Oh.
Like if you don't succeed, they always go through and say, okay, this was really that.
Well, then I guess that's
so then
that
like totally
would be dumb. But what if they didn't? Then would you like? I gotta know.
But you would like you wouldn't be qualifying for the leaderboard or anything like that either. So.
But if you were like,
I don't know. I guess. But all of them so far that we haven't done all run through the answers at the end.
No.
So. And I mean that's
is that one of those things where you're like, was there ones where when they ran through them you're like, I never would have gotten that, or it was so close?
There's most of them are ones like, oh yeah, of course, but there's been a couple where like, oh, we never would have gotten that, and not because we didn't know. There's a couple
like
where you're like
annoyed.
Yeah, there's been a couple. Most of them not, but there's a couple
like
where you're
insane thing.
Or yeah, like one of them, there was it was like a crazy, like a serial killer guy that you were trapped in his room, right? And so with black lights, like imagine a room like the size of your living room here, and there's just like crazy writing all around on all the walls, right? Which is cool. But amongst paragraphs and paragraphs, there was a thing that said, I hear, but I do not understand. And they said, well, from that, you should have understood that you go over to the telephone and you unscrew the thing and there's a key hidden inside.
No.
And I'm like, this whole room is full of stuff. And there's one phrase that says something about here.
But that's, how does that even...
It doesn't.
How would you even go to telephone?
Plus, you know what I mean? Like the old phones where you can unscrew it. And you know, inside, they tell you not to take stuff apart. You know, like you're solving things, not dismantling. So that like went directly against what they told us not to do.
Yeah.
Plus, from a whole room full of text, I'm gonna sit there and like. So that one, I was like, "Come on, guys, that's annoying."
So did you tell them that?
No, I mean, because that one had a lot of cool stuff, but that was the frustrating one too, where we had the not as smart people was our. Remember, we were handcuffed, and the lady like, "Oh, I'm not very good with locks." So we're like, "Great, I'm glad you're on our team now, lady." So that one was. We had fun doing it, but it was frustrating. It definitely was a lower quality. They also had, and this one has driven me nuts. And David and Matthew at first were talking about doing this, and we were like, "No, you can't do this." Is they had like basically like red herring puzzles. Where like you would solve something and it was for something you didn't need to do. And so we're like, there's this whole thing we're like confused about. And we never did solve it. And they're like, well, this one, if you had solved it, would have just led to this pair of tweezers, which really wouldn't have done anything. We're like, a pair of tweezers? You put a whole puzzle that I wasted all that time on for something that was like unnecessary. He's like, well, you could have used the tweezers to pick up stuff. I'm like, but I used my hands and it worked. Well, yeah, you didn't really have to solve that part. Like, oh no, that was dumb. So also definitely am against the red herring idea. Unless you're doing like a multiple day thing or something. Like if you're there for an hour, you don't want to waste your time doing something. So anyway, that's what I have to say about that.
Okay.
Ready? Red eyes, red eyes, red eyes.
Got no reader mail. Nobody likes this.
People like us.
Nope.
They just forgot to write. It's the end of the school year. It's crazy.
The numbers are skyrocketing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
See?
We're past usually like every episode is like over the 200s.
Nice.
Like in like the 230s, 240s, 250s. And that's just those are the
that's on like the blog software?
Although no, that's the actual like whatever the thing is that tracks the downloads.
Okay.
But then Stitcher doesn't count that
Right.
because it's different. And then some other
iTunes?
stuff. No,
Okay.
it is iTunes.
Does count iTunes. Okay.
Because it's actual downloads on
Okay.
iTunes.
But not Stitcher does it different.
No, because Stitcher, like, it's cached on their
Right.
thing, and it's not downloading it from us every time somebody plays it.
Right. Should
At least I don't think. Take out my headphones.
I got your email, by the way, your emails. So we got your submission and your note, which
What?
I actually did. From
yeah.
Mandarin Orange Show. I heard her say that, and I was like, I'm going to mention that at the end. But then I forgot to. I forgot to do it. So I was going to maybe like snip it out. Because I was telling her about like 99% of people aren't going to even know.
Most
people, a lot of people say that. But I know that was it on our show that someone like called us on that?
No.
Maybe it was on Pillage Cast. Somewhere someone like mentioned it, and I remember we like looked.
Because I've known that like forever.
I've never,
because
like,
I had a friend
until it was on our show.
I had a friend who was Romani, and so he taught me about some of that stuff. Because I didn't even know like gypsies were like a real thing.
Maybe it wasn't on this show that we talked about that.
I don't think so.
Maybe it was on Pillage Cast, because I remember, I don't know, someone said it or something. It came up, and we had a discussion and looked into it actually.
Yeah.
But again, like, most people have never heard of that, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't look to be sensitive, you know.
But it is, like, if you look back at it, it's meant to.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, but
because I've heard some people, like, there's some anti-Semitic terms that that's similar in similar contexts.
Yeah.
And I knew people. I know people that use them. Like, are you aware of what you're saying?
Yeah. Which,
like shyster and anything like of that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how many people, like, I learned about all that stuff once, because that's what Merchant of Venice and the Shylock.
Yeah,
that's where that all comes from. But then even I think it predates that. But I know that's when it was popularized. I know Shakespeare
multiple times
popularized it.
Yeah.
But like, it's like when I found that out, and I was like, oh my god! And then like I hear it all the time.
Yeah. And it's interesting, the ones that think, like, when it's a lesser represented people group, it becomes
but then even something
popular,
like that,
you know, because there's less people that are standing up to it, you know.
Yeah.
Or they're even aware that it's a thing. So anyway.
Yeah. That was interesting.
Yeah.
And
must have been on Pillage Cat. You sure was?
I don't know. We've done 230.
I think we might have talked about it on.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Like years ago.
Sounds like a Pillage Cast thing.
It could have been.
Sounds like a Gates conversation.
Could have been, I guess.
Between
this and that, I've talked for like thousands of hours, probably. Maybe not thousands, but hundreds and hundreds.
Hundreds and hundreds.
Probably
check
thousands.
1, check 2.
At least 8,
3, 4. I don't know. I mean, like,
well, what are we on now? 200 and
but our hours are all over the place.
Yeah, but they're all at least an hour.
Yeah.
And some of them are more.
That's nowhere near 1,000.
If you looked at the average, though, we probably have averaged 2 hours.
Yeah. I might be at 1,000.
That's over 500 hours right there.
Yeah.
And maybe more, because we've done a lot longer. Plus, I got 100 episodes of Pillage Cast almost.
Yeah, but you weren't on all of them.
Not all of them, but I was on most of them. So let's say even 90. Let's say, but we also went over an hour. We probably averaged an hour and 20 minutes on that show. So let's say maybe another 100 hours there. That's 600. I mean, probably not 1,000, but that's close to 700 hours, including like Mandarin Orange Show. That's a lot of hours of me talking. No wonder I can't remember where I talked about that.
We've had this conversation that we're having right now at least 5 times.
Yeah, but now it's even more.
Hundreds and hundreds. Check 1, check 2, 3, 4. I don't know. I mean, like,
plus bonus episodes.
Plus commentaries.
Yeah.
Plus
that's a couple more hours there.
Live. I don't know. That's an episode that counts. I don't know. Panels.
Well, you count panels in there.
Mega casts.
Yeah. There's a lot. All right. Timer. Newly discovered.
Figured out
timer. Have you watched Fresh Off the Boat?
Nope.
Oh, So good. The last episode.
That's what everybody says.
Dr. Ken is his brother.
Oh, yeah.
And we find out, and you finally meet him. He just finally visits from Taiwan. And it's hilarious.
All right. You ready?
Ready.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Radio BrendoMan. I'm Brendan Creecy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
And it's Memorial Day weekend.
It is.
3-day weekend.
It's nice to have that time.
And then I have this week of work and then next week of work. And then I'm done for a month.
Crazy, right?
It's crazy awesome.
Yeah.
And my birthday's coming up.
Yep.
I still got to buy Brian Wilson tickets. I still don't know what your situation is.
I think we might. You said it's like $14 on
for the
lawn.
cheap seats.
Yeah.
If you want to sit way high up.
I don't mind doing that. I think we might do that.
Well, are you gonna come make it back down here by
I
then?
think maybe still kind of up in the air.
I don't know how long those tickets are gonna be available.
We'll figure it out this week.
We gotta figure it out.
Chris Cavins posted that he's playing at Del Mar Fair too.
I'd rather go see him at the Hollywood Bowl. Del Mar Fair is
Just saying, it's cool. He's doing more stuff.
it's cool, but
It's cool.
I'd rather go to the bowl.
I'll definitely be gone while he's doing that though. So
I might go to both. Maybe I'll go to both.
see, there you go.
I don't know.
Cavin's hooking you up with the deets.
Might not have. Still climbing back up the financial security ladder, and now I've got student loans, taxes,
All that stuff kicking in.
Yeah.
But last couple of weeks of school, like good.
Well, it's going to be really busy. I got a lot of stuff.
End of school year is always kind of
a lot of big projects.
Yeah.
But at least the kids are done on Thursday
of this week.
Yeah. So after that,
that's easy then.
Then I'll have I want to have kids underfoot and trying to get in the library and needing help and stuff. And
our kids are still in school for the next week. So after that, I mean,
yeah.
So we have longer. But the kids have 7 days. The kids have 7 days of school left. Janelle has 9, not counting, thing. But on next Monday, Janelle's going to have a day off because we get to go to a court, what is it called? Mediation.
What?
With LAUSD.
Oh, is that finally happening?
Yeah, we get to go to court.
So, but you guys have like a really good lawyer, right?
As far as we know, I mean, we have the great lawyer that's willing to help us out in exchange for goods and services as opposed to thousands of dollars. So hopefully.
Yeah, because this is over. Like they're saying they overpaid.
They're claiming that they overpaid Janelle by like $11,000.
How does that happen?
It doesn't happen. It's stupid. If we had an extra $11,000, we would have known. At that time in our lives in particular, we were living paycheck to paycheck. This is during the time you probably heard it was like national news when LAUSD, their whole payroll software failed. There were thousands of people that weren't getting their paychecks. People their houses were foreclosed upon.
It was a nightmare.
We didn't get paid. Janelle has pay stubs where she got like 2 cents. And then we had to go down and fight for her to get paid for that month. We went into credit card debt over it. It was a crazy time. People lost their homes. Lots of people were laid off. Janelle was laid off and then rehired 3 or 4 times. And in that process, they claim that they overpaid because it's not just us.
Yeah.
They sued something like 200 or 300 teachers from that era and said, we overpaid you by the grand total of the lawsuit. They're claiming they overpaid by $1 million or hundreds of thousands of dollars or something like that.
I don't know. It's kind of just messed up in a world where the current education system, when a school district, one of the richest school districts, is suing their teachers.
You look like their administrators and their top uppity ups of that school district are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
It's an extremely top heavy.
Yeah. And because they have the sub districks and then they have the overseeing district.
It's completely insane.
With a big sky rise and all that. It's nuts. And they're suing all these teachers. The guy that came and served notice told us he felt bad. He was I feel guilty doing this. That's his job. He said the person before us that he went to was an old lady in a wheelchair who he's like, she told me she's on disability and she can't work, and they've been like, ever since she lost her home when LAUSD didn't pay her,
that job?
And he's like, sorry, you're being sued for $11,000 or whatever.
Oh my God.
That's what they're doing. Like, they're suing nice old ladies and teachers, educators and they didn't overpay her. That's the thing. And throughout the course of their quote unquote lawsuit thing, they've changed the amount. They started out, they said we owed them $6,000, and they said $9,000, then $10,000. Now it's like 11 plus. They just keep changing the amount. Oh, by the way, you also owe us this much.
What?
Because they have no idea. There's no documentation improvement. We have all these pay stubs.
How is this going to hold up? Like, what's going to happen in court?
I don't know. It's ridiculous. But I'm telling you, there's some evil people working over there. Somebody is there like, what can we do? Who can we like grab and shake down for money? I know old teachers that don't work here anymore.
Speaking of court, that reminds me, I got to call and postpone my jury duty because they gave me jury duty over my break, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. That's for a work day.
Yeah.
That's a get out of work free day.
You don't want to do that during vacation?
No, heck no.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
I'll just postpone.
That's good. You can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will.
Well, if you get on a court case where they're suing teachers, give the teacher the benefit of the doubt. Because let me tell you this. We also have documentation of like extra pay they owe her. Like, they did days where a teacher wouldn't show up, and rather than hire a substitute, they'd dump the extra kids in Janelle's class.
Yeah.
And they'd say, like, we'll pay you an extra $100 for the day. You have to have an extra, 20 kids. And she never got paid for any of those. So they owe us money, if anything, because they're a bunch of scandalous jerks.
Scandalous jerks.
Yeah. So we get to do that. And my mom's going to take care of the kids, so I get to go out there too and be a part of it.
So when is this?
It's a week from today, next Monday. So that's going to be real fun.
Mr. Vecchio goes to Los Angeles.
Yep, that's exactly
You're going to be up there.
Ugh.
You're out of order.
But here's the thing, like
you're going to get contempt filed for contempt.
So it's a mediation. I don't even know if we're before a judge. I think it's just lawyers.
Is this like is this like at a law office?
Yeah, it's like in law offices. So I think
so
it's like those things
like
in the movies. Yeah, there's a lawyer on the side of the desk.
Like, don't answer that question.
And then they whisper to you what to say and stuff. I think it's like that.
Oh, dude.
But I don't know.
It's probably gonna be boring and stupid.
It's gonna be horrible. I know it is. It's gonna be the worst.
Do you have to wear a nice shirt?
I guess. I mean, I'll wear
tie.
I'm not wearing a tie. I'll wear like a button down.
What if you have to go into court?
I don't know.
Then you're gonna wear a tie.
But see, they won't have me because it's Janelle technically. Yeah. So if it does go to that, but I don't think it will. I don't know. I'm just hoping they don't. Like, I'd rather pay our lawyer $11,000 than give a penny to the jerks over there. So we'll see. I don't know. Who knows?
That sounds nuts, man.
Yeah. So I'm super not stoked about that. We just found out about that like at the beginning of the weekend.
What else did you guys do this weekend?
Well.
Went to a concert
on Saturday, like a last minute. Our friends from the Spivies, Rob and Clark, are in a new band together called the Black Ball Bandits.
Was this yesterday or Saturday?
That was Saturday.
Oh.
And they played this festival, and it's funny. They're like an instrumental surf band, and they played an instrumental surf festival where it's like all day long. It's all instrumental surf bands.
Yeah,
which is cool if you're super into that. If that's not your thing, like, after a while, instrumental music can be, whether or not you're interested in that. I don't know. We just went and saw them, basically. We saw the band before them for a bit, and then we saw them. But it was super good. They're really talented, but it was like a festival, and they said it was an all-ages festival. Bring the kids. So we did, and it's in this, like, little tiny bar and grill out in Hermosa Beach, and it was fine, but there was like no like seating, or I just kind of like stood hunched over the kids the whole time because we got them one chair for them to share. It wasn't the most comfortable setting, but and then the other funny part is they had like TVs on one wall. The stage is up here, we're sitting here, and there's TVs up on this wall, like big old TVs, and they're playing Inglorious Bastards on the TVs. Now it was like on TNT, so I guess it was like an edited version. But I'm like, first of all, like there's like an extended scene where like the girl's on the chair or the desk or the table and her legs all bleeding out, and they're like interrogating her or whatever. And my kids are sitting there, and I'm like, fortunately we brought them like their DSs and they had headphones, so they were just like looking down and didn't even notice it. But I'm like, gross. And so it's like this fun like poppy surf music, and then people are being mutilated and shot in the head right next to it. It's a very interesting juxtaposition. But I figured, because it's all surf music, maybe they were theming it after that old movie, Surf Nazis Must Die. That must have been it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can figure. Either that or they just turned on TV and didn't pay attention to what it was. So that was an interesting concert. Then while we were out there, we went out to the not San Pedro. What is that pier right there?
San Pedro?
Is it?
No, in Hermosa Beach. I forgot what that.
Another one. Well, anyway, it's not. I don't think it's whatever that is. Right, the big old pier there. Man,
Marina Del Rey.
No, it's not that either.
No, I know what you're talking about because I've been out there because that's where they were filming one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies because I saw the Black Pearl out there.
Yeah, big old pier there.
Yeah,
and like boardwalk and stuff.
Boardwalk.
And under the boardwalk,
you went to a boardwalk.
I went to a boardwalk. Yeah, but it's not like an amusement park boardwalk. It's all like buildings and stuff. I know. I want to go to one that has amusement stuff.
Well, like if only there was this one, like right in Los Angeles.
I know. I
area.
never get to go to it.
How have you never been to Santa Monica?
We've been to Santa Monica. I didn't get to go on the boardwalk.
What?
We went to there and we didn't get to go there.
Newport Beach, Long Beach.
It's not a boardwalk.
Long Beach has a boardwalk right by there's a boardwalk right there. That's a boardwalk.
That's not an amusement park.
The Long Beach boardwalk.
Well,
then Newport Beach, there's one with like they got bumper cars and stuff down there.
That's what I want to go to.
Have you not been? That's like right down there.
I never get to go.
What the crap?
I never get to go. But this Ventura, one does have
San Diego Belmont Park.
Never get to go.
Never been to Belmont Park?
No.
What?
I've never gotten to go.
What the crap?
I know. I'm underprivileged.
Oh my gosh. I just don't understand.
I don't know.
You're a grown man. You could make that happen.
Every time I try to go, it's as if the universe is conspiring against me.
You gotta be like Jerry. You just gotta go to Coney Island.
Can't do it. I've tried. The train stops before I get there. It's not fair. I never get to Coney Island. So, but they do have at this one, they have like an old school fun center with like an old classic arcade games.
Yeah.
So we went there for that. It's the one, we used to stay at a hotel there during our homeless days. And I used to walk down there all the time.
You went to a boardwalk and there's a fun center. That sounds like...
No, it's arcade games though. No, that's not rides. I want rides. I want boardwalk with rides.
There's plenty of those.
I haven't gotten to go to them.
Okay.
But it was fun. We had a good time with that. Kids got to play games. So it was great because they actually take quarters in their machines. That's like
very rare.
I found like tons of quarters, so we got lots of free games. I found a giant pile of tickets, so we got like a bunch of prizes.
Where did you find all these quarters?
Oh, dude,
just in the slots.
Because when I was a kid,
checking the slots.
When I was a kid, like at most, my parents would give me $5. That was like the highest amount I'd ever get. So I would like go around.
$5. I mean, that's like.
If you play the wrong games, you can blow through that in minutes. If
true.
You're good, you can make that stretch. But
$5, that's a lot.
So I'm saying that's the most
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, man, $5.
So I would go through and like check all the machines. I'd look behind the machines.
Well, I've seen you stuff. Like you're
you know me. I find change.
I watch I feel like you can't not check a return coin return
I put my fingers in it. I can't help
watched you.
So I was pulling them out left and right. And there's even one, there's like a little merry-go-round thing the kids wanted to do. Like just one of those little cheap ones, you know. And I put the quarter in and it didn't work. And I was like, and the return button was broken. So I like jammed.
One of those magical ones where you found like a bunch?
No, well, not quite, but I jammed my finger up into the return thing to try to get it. And I felt a quarter and I popped it loose and I got the quarter and the machine started. So I got the ride for free. Plus I got a quarter of it.
Nice.
But I found a huge thing of tickets and they have like a return thing, but their prizes there are kind of like that old Big Bear arcade. Like they got weird stuff. They have mirrors and like, I don't know, a t-shirt of like a construction company, batteries. Like if you have one ticket, they got a whole they have like boxes of batteries. You can get a battery. AA or 9-volt.
What?
I'm telling you, they have the weirdest stuff. Oh,
hey mom, I got this 9-volt battery.
I got pictures of this for like
actually that might not be a bad deal if you like how much like one ticket?
Well, no, 25 tickets equals one token and the batteries are one token. So you had to get 25 tickets to get a battery.
You get tickets and then you turn them into tokens?
A token, except they never actually hand you a token. What? That's just their monetary system.
What? Why do they have tokens?
I don't know. Because
you already have tickets. That doesn't make sense. Why don't they just say how many tickets things cost? That sounds like some kind of scam going on.
It is. Oh, it totally is.
Because then you just change. I guess you just change the price of tokens.
Yeah.
And they can move that up and down as much as they want.
I don't know. I don't know their system, but
that sounds shady.
They also had they have just old stuff. Like they had a whole block of talking Dennis Miller dolls from like the Dennis Miller talk show.
Where is this?
And those
place?
were like 70 tokens.
Where is this place?
It's in whatever that pier is right there.
Okay.
Is it? It might be San Pedro, but
no, I know what you're talking about.
It's right by Hermosa Beach.
Yeah, I know.
It'll come
I've been
later.
there.
But anyway, yeah, a whole block of Dennis Miller dolls, like just random junk.
Like what kid was gonna want a Dennis Miller doll?
Our kids. So I found a bunch of tickets, and plus the kids played a couple games that got tickets. So we wound up getting enough. We got 16 tokens after we turned it all in. So tokens. Luke picked. They had for one. They either had batteries or suckers. That was the only one token thing they had. So Luke picked 5 suckers.
Batteries or suckers.
That was their option. Batteries or suckers.
What the heck, batteries?
I'm telling you, they had boxes.
That seems like a horrible idea to your kids have some batteries.
They got 9 volts. They got D's. They got double A's. They got triple A's.
What the
I think D's were 2 tokens though.
What?
It's the weirdest like cash-in thing. So then they have these mystery boxes on the wall. There's a mystery box for 5, 10, and 15, and I'm like, look. I found these tickets, so you guys each get to spend 5 tickets, and I
gotta get a mystery box
because I gotta know what's in that mystery box. So we got 2 mystery boxes.
Probably garbage.
Audrey's like, I want to get a mystery box.
Please tell me it was just
and I'm like,
garbage.
Are you sure? Because you can get suckers. You don't know what's in the mystery box. I want a mystery box. Here's what's in the mystery box. Open up the little box about the size of
a battery.
There was no batteries in there. There was inside the mystery box. There's a pair of reading glasses.
What? Like real?
Those like cheap ones that you buy, like like Rite Aid, like those little pair of reading glasses. There's a little clip-on visor to go on top of the reading glasses. It's like a little tiny plastic visor that clips onto the reading glasses.
What?
And there were 2 packs, little mini packs of tissues, little Kleenex packs. That was in the 5 tokens.
Did Audrey start crying?
She was like, well, fortunately, so we had 16. So I let Luke get 5. I spent 5 on the box, and then Audrey spent 5. Plus, I made her get 1.
Did the mystery box? They all had the same thing in it.
Yeah. So we have 2 of those now.
So now they're like, okay, we've got all these tissues and reading glasses and little clip-on visors. Okay, we're gonna make these mystery boxes for 5 tokens.
Yep.
Boss, you're a monster. I don't care.
They had 10 token and 15 token ones too.
What do you think?
I'm dying to know what's in those. I gotta go back and get those because. Who knows what they put in a 10 token one? It's
probably a roll of toilet paper.
I mean, it could be because if they're bigger, I mean, they're this big. Who knows what's in there? So yeah. So fortunately, we had 1 leftover one and let Audrey get an extra sucker in case the box was horrible. So she at least got a sucker out of the deal. But she said she liked it. She was a good sport about it.
At least, I mean, like she can use those reading glasses for like dress up.
Yeah, something like that.
Her old lady costume.
You could tell when she opened it, she's like, oh.
Hey.
She knew she was gambling.
It's a gamble.
She also they used some of her quarters. Actually, they had like the little old Fred Flintstone, the Dino egg.
Yabba dabba doo. Yabba dabba doo.
So they each got.
So how did then it goes something and Dino too?
Yep,
I know all about that.
I got a little video of that.
Yeah,
that
thing.
So they got little prizes out of that too. They weren't suffering too much.
That Flintstones egg machine, that was like the machine.
Yeah.
That and the Esmeralda fortunes for a quarter. I love quarters.
And they had the chicken egg dispenser too.
Okay, yeah.
Chicken one. So they had.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
It's a cool place, and they have like a whole section of old arcade, like classic, Space Invaders, and they have Pong, of course, Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Centipede, Millipede, all that stuff.
Pretty cool.
So it was pretty good. Good little trip, even though it was weird. It's a weird place. Very weird.
Trying to remember what it's called.
I know. It's gonna drive me nuts. It's in the South Bay there. It's like just
El Dorado.
I feel like it's a sand something.
Oh,
I don't know either.
Sand.
You can look it up, but it's fine. One way or another, they got a really weird fun zone there. So it's fun though.
I just remember I went there once because they were filming Pirates, and when we got there, Johnny Depp had already left, but we met Gareth from The Office.
There you go.
He was all pirated up.
Like one eyeball?
Yes.
Or is that just CGI?
Nope, they ripped his eye out. He was like, look at it, look at it.
That's commitment to a role there.
No, now that I think about it, he
probably just a guy. Maybe he had like a green eye patch over his eye or something.
That was a long time ago. It's like 2006.
It was only 10 years.
Only 10 years. Man.
It was funny though, because we stayed there during like homeless dad days, and I went down there, like we stayed there for a few weeks, and I would walk down there every day. The hotel was like right up the street from it, so it was like, you know, probably about a 3-mile loop to go all the way down to the end and back. So, and I was there with like Luke when he was strapped to my chest, and then Audrey like toddling like in a stroller and stuff. And so it was like going down memory lane, like, oh, this is where I took you, because I would take him, you know, there's all the fish tanks at the fish market, and we'd look at the crabs and lobsters and stuff, and so I just took him like on a trip back and saw all the stuff, and it was weird because that was like 7 years ago when we were doing that.
So when you were homeless.
Yep. And yeah, so that was our. Then today we went to the movies and went shopping at Sam's Club.
Did they have Ecto Cooler at Sam's Club?
I did not see that, but they like got a really fancy cheese section now. Dude, they got like so many good cheeses.
Really excited about your eyes. Like,
no, you don't even know. Today, I mean, I just got a small sampling. I got some Fontina, I got some Brie, and I got some Moonster. But they had like 30 different cheeses.
My problem with cheese is like I'll buy it and it's like, and then I just eat it all at like once.
You gotta like spread it out.
I'm not good at spreading anything.
Man, oh, they had so much.
That's why you look at my fridge.
They even had this like Black Label. What was it called? I can't remember the brand name, but it was like extremely aged, extra sharp, like reserve. And it was like for a little cube like this, or a little like rectangle like this, it was like $20. I did not get that, but I was like, ooh, that's got to be good. It's in a Black Label. It's got to be good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Sam's Club has good cheese.
You don't know, like, just because they tell you Black Label.
It was good marketing, man.
It's got a Black Label.
I saw that little like rectangle. I'm like, that's going to be good cheese.
Black Label cheese.
It said Black Label right on. It's called Black Label. It was in a Black Label, so I knew they were being honest. They didn't lie about it. They didn't call it Red Label.
What makes it? Why is it so special?
I don't know. It said it was extra aged, like premium, extra sharp cheddar. I don't know. It's got to be the best. I like cheese.
It's so funny because like you eat like bacteria aged cheese, and then you're like afraid of bacteria.
Just the wrong kinds of bacteria. You know, I know there's different kinds. There's some in my gut that I get along with okay.
I don't understand.
Janelle makes fun of me and says I only like it because of the Monty Python cheese shop sketch, which might be partly true. That might have like interested me in cheese, but I actually like to eat it too.
No, I mean people like cheese because cheese is good. Like,
I know.
There's way more people like cheese than like even know about Monty Python.
I know,
but you only like Monty. You only like cheese.
As I'm going through the cheese,
Monty
she's like, you only like that
because
of Monty Python. I'm like, no, I don't. I like this cheese.
No, that doesn't. No, that's silly.
But I did like. There's some expensive ones. You can spend a lot on cheese if you want to, and I didn't. I didn't go too nuts.
You know what else is nuts? We don't have any reader mail this week.
People are busy. It's the end of the school year.
It's holiday.
Most
people aren't in school.
Yeah, but everyone's affected by the school's calendar in some way.
That's insane.
In some way, like it trickles down to most parts of society. Some obviously more than others. But
I was out of that whole loop forever. And
but even when you were working at like for software stuff, like you had more business with schools at certain times of the year.
That was like for one company.
Okay, I'm just saying. So even in a company like that, it can have an effect.
Jobs.
Not all of them do. I'm not saying all, but much of society is affected in some way by the school calendar.
That's weird.
It is.
You know what's not weird is listening to podcasts on Stitcher.
No, there's nothing weird about that.
And giving us a thumbs up on there and using the code BrendoMan if you haven't gotten a free account yet to listen on your mobile devices and your web browser and all that stuff.
Yeah, that would be great.
You can also rate and review and subscribe on iTunes and on Google Play Music. That's the new one on your Android device.
All those are great.
They are great. And the Benview Network podcasts are pretty great things to listen to.
There's a lot of them.
There's so many,
the
including...
roster keeps growing.
Yeah, well, then we got a new... Well, I mean, we got... I keep forgetting to put them down here, but we got Van Dammit.
Yeah.
And Trent Talk, if you're a fan of Trent Reznor.
Yes.
And the Artist Tree podcast. Is it preview or review?
I think it's review, I thought.
No, I don't.
You have review written down.
Yeah, I don't know if that's... Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it's a podcast preview.
Well, do they talk about them afterwards or before? That's all you need to know.
I don't know. You got your own Mandarin Orange show featuring you and Janelle.
Of course.
And you know what else?
Got some new.
Brought it back.
Yeah.
Matt and Brendo's wrestling show, MBWS.
So you're calling it Matt and Brendo, not Mr.
We're calling
Brendo.
it MBWS
whatever it means to
Mr.
you.
Brendo Wrestling Show. Well, because Benson will be back from time to time.
Okay.
But Veronica Steele and I are recording every week.
So you got a new episode up already?
Up.
Nice.
Talking about, because the whole thing is Veronica has never watched wrestling before. I mean, she's watched a couple times.
But she's definitely new to the scene.
So she's completely, like, I had to tell her what a suplex is, but she's eager.
That's cool. I think that's a cool angle.
I think it's gonna be fun.
It's a good angle. Like that's a wrestling term, right?
Yes.
Aha! See what I did there?
You can also see what they do there at Star Wars Nerdy Night, Comic Nerdy Night, if you like that stuff. Popsicles. I think we're gonna at some point do another one.
Coming back.
I don't know. It's up to Derek.
All right.
People keep being like, "Come back." I'm like, I'm. That's
actually, sir, I've never gone away.
Waiting for Derek to make the call. And if you like Choose Your Own Adventure, you got Pick Your Pass. You got old episodes of Pillagecast.
Yep.
You got
classics.
Benson's Boombox. Lots of funny stuff on there. Benview on Spielberg. Extra Damage. A lot of big video game stuff happening.
E3 is
Midnight Marinara. E3 is coming up.
Coming
really
soon.
Nerd's Eye View, talking about movies.
Good stuff.
You know what else good stuff?
I know.
What?
DreamHost.
Yep, hosting your websites.
The dream come true.
Hosting your webs.
From host to coast.
From host to coast. It's pretty stupid.
Yes, it is.
You know, it's not stupid. It's saving $50
oh, that's smart.
on DreamHost when you go to radiobrendo.com and click the DreamHost link. That will take you to a page that gives you $50 off your order.
Hey, this reminds me of something. I just thought I got to interject here real quick.
What?
Remember last week, before the show, in case you didn't listen to the pre-show, I was talking about the new Broadway musical about Antarctica.
No.
That, you know, the Coldplay, that one.
Stop.
I read a review about it, though.
Stop.
I did. And there, the headline says the new Coldplay musical about Antarctica. It said, "Don't eat the snow. It's all yellow."
Oh, my gosh. That was... That's... Did you have you been thinking about that all week?
No, I came up with this afternoon. I was like, I'm going to say that on the show tonight.
Why now, though?
Because that's when I don't know. I don't know why it popped into my brain, but I had to say it before I forgot. Because I didn't want to deprive the world of that thought that popped into my head.
That the Coldplay musical was all yellow?
Yeah, because snow, cold. It works on so many levels.
Gosh, it's so stupid.
You know what's not stupid? Free shipping with Amazon Prime.
Definitely not. Because you can get great deals on all kinds of stuff. If you were one of the lucky jerks who got Ecto Cooler when it went on sale 2 a.m. this morning.
I thought it was going to be more widely available.
I know. I'm so tired of this limited bull crap.
Everyone wants Ecto Cooler.
I refuse to hunt for a
pay
beverage.
Money for
I'm not going to hunt for it. I'm not going to go to a million stores. I went to my store. It's not in a freaking giant store, and it's not in there. Screw you.
Well, some people in the group have been
guys.
going around to lots of stores.
I'm not going around.
Yep, I know. It's.
I went to my grocery store, and I want to see. And I get it. The cans, you got to get them either on Amazon or at Walmart.
All right, but at least the boxes.
But the freaking juice box.
Yeah.
Give me a freaking break.
I do want the billions.
I do want the can.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which means I'll probably have to go to a Walmart.
Is that only at Walmart?
Or Amazon, but they sell out in 2 seconds because they're doing allotments of 5. I don't know. We have 5 boxes.
Man.
It's just, what are you guys doing?
I don't know. That's not Amazon's fault.
I don't know. People are being jerks about Ghostbusters. Maybe it's what we deserve.
No, but we don't.
I know. But
we're the faithful.
Maybe
you see what I posted about Dan Aykroyd?
Maybe we should suffer for the sins of all these jerks.
No, those guys are jerks.
Well, I blame them.
Did you see the Dan Aykroyd quote that I posted?
Yes.
Dan Aykroyd gives a stamp of approval.
Maybe Sony's you jerks don't deserve Ecto Cooler.
Yeah. Be cool about it or else you don't get it.
Well, some people are getting it and they're putting it up on eBay for crazy amounts of money. Everybody can screw themselves. I'm so mad. I was expecting to be celebrating Memorial Day, honoring the fallen
and drinking Ecto Cooler
with delicious Ecto Cooler, and that did not happen.
When you saw X-Men, which we'll talk about later, how did people respond during the Ghostbusters trailer?
I was in the back, so I didn't get a lot of response.
Like in our room, everyone was laughing. Like people seemed real excited about it.
There wasn't any negative. I mean, people were laughing and stuff. I thought it looked great.
I think now, like when actual people, not just internet trolls, are seeing stuff about it, people are going to want to see it. I think it's going to do okay.
I think it's going to do fine. I think it's going to do great.
I think once people see it and see that it is fun,
because also the internet is not. I think most. Like I think it's disproportionate. Like it's not an approximation of real
life. Because when people
rave
on the internet,
that's a whole bunch of angry dudes,
right?
And
it also like in reverse too. You've seen movies where people like salivated over ahead of time. Like for instance, Snakes on a Plane that was basically kind of a flop after all was said and done. It did okay, but after everyone was so excited about it, it's not doesn't represent the population as a whole. So I'm hopeful that it'll do well.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm really excited. I'm gonna watch it.
I'm super excited.
I really want Ecto Cooler, and so they better figure that out.
Get the Ecto Cooler, and everything will be cool. There's a new TMNT movie coming out, and I want those pizza snacks too. I don't know if anyone can make that happen.
Yeah, I know.
Because that's the snack that I miss the most from childhood.
The pizza snacks and the pudding pies.
Yeah, all the TMNT snacks are fantastic.
And then those Totino's pizza things that they never. I don't think those ever actually.
We looked around, could never find them.
Went to market.
You gave us that coupon.
Yeah,
I never got a chance to use it because I never saw them.
They were the closest things to the pizza snacks that I've ever had. And it was like an amalgamate. It was kind of like half pizza snack, half Keebler pizzerias.
See, those were good too.
Those were so good.
What happened to all the great pizza snacks of old?
They're probably horrible for you.
I know, but they were delicious.
Well, you got those pizza combos.
Those are good.
It's pretty great.
But they're different though.
And there's the TGI Friday. Maybe that had like some kind of thing.
It's a little asbestos is what gave it the pizza flavor. It was good asbestos though.
Although I did read that RC Cola article about how like Big Sugar basically campaigned to get that thing, and then that was the one, just like with a lot of those artificial sweeteners where they did these studies, and it gives cancer, but the dosage that it does give cancer is like this insane, like that you would never be able to reproduce, like nobody would ever be able to ingest that much.
And aren't they like injecting it into them too? Like we ingest it and process it through our digestive tract, and also it was like an insane, like getting like 1,000,000 times like that you would ever have in your lifetime. Plus, at this point, that stuff's been on the market long enough. Why don't we have like billions of people dropping dead from?
Well, the one that was in like RC and stuff is gone. Like which is bummer because it sounds like it was awesome.
Now it did mention
like I want to try this stuff.
I'm pretty sure, like on the East Coast or one of our trips that we did, I had cherry RC Cola.
Yeah, I've never had it. I've never seen it.
I could be just imagining, like maybe.
Well, no, Mark Bolton's had it all the time. Yeah. The other RC flavors. The only things that we get out here are Diet Right and RC.
Yeah. I think like when we did our East Coast trip when we went to DC and stuff. I think we had it.
I've never seen it.
I gotta double check with Janelle because she'll remember.
You probably did because it is like a regionally available thing.
Because they have a lot of good sodas. They have a lot of peach sodas out there too that we don't have here.
Peach soda. The best soda that they had in China that I would get all the time was this peach soda.
Oh, I love that. Like fake peach flavor is amazing. Yeah, I love it.
I forgot. It was like it was the only, because most of the time I would drink like soda, but it was because most of the Chinese sodas were like really weird.
Well, that stuff they had at Walt Disney World,
weird like nasty tea drinks, like it's like weird stuff. So, but that peach soda, so I don't even know what it was called because it was like Chinese characters. There was no English on it,
right?
And it was delicious. It was one of the only things I would drink. There was this coffee drink that I would drink, but man, I still miss the thing that I miss the most
hot pot.
Well, hot pot, but beverage wise is icy mint Sprite.
That's crazy.
It was delicious. Good. It tasted like Altoids Sprite.
Altoid in a can.
But it was so good. Everybody else thought it was disgusting, and you could only get it in like Beijing, like the big cities in China. Like, and I don't even know if it's still around. I haven't looked lately. Like, this was like 10 years ago.
You could just get Sprite and put an Altoid in it and probably.
I tried. It
Not
didn't
the same
taste
thing.
the same. I'd have to ask some people that are still in China. Maybe Kevin Felt knows, because that was one of my favorite things. And then green apple Fanta.
Ooh. I don't know if I've had green apple Fanta.
I don't think it's been available here. Like, I think you could get it in South America, maybe.
Because when we did our Louisiana trip, we got a lot of apple sodas, but I don't think we got a Fanta one.
No,
we got peach sodas.
I've never seen it in the United States. Like,
because there's like Manzana Mia. There's a couple different apple ones that we do.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have some of them, but I've even the Galco. I think you were there when I asked the Galco guy about it. He's like, you can't get that. Like, he knew about it
because they have. And
like, I asked him because I asked him about the green apple Fanta, and I asked him about the icy mint Sprite, and he's like, "You've had that?" And I was like, "Yes."
Oh, Galco.
And some of because there was a bunch of Thai stuff that. Well, Thailand had a bunch of crazy energy drinks because that's like where Red Bull is from.
Isn't that where they grow the
whatever
the thing that they make it out of?
Yeah, and then like the energy drinks there aren't as regulated, or like they're a lot more. So like Thai Red Bull is like
Guarani or something.
Yeah, Guarana.
Yeah.
But like Thai Red Bull is insane, and it comes in like these little medicine bottles, and like it's really nuts. Like the first time I ever had it was at Button-Umathon, and that's one of the main reasons why I made it through the 27 hours.
The other day at school, like one of the moms offered everyone mints, and I took a mint. But it was like this little tiny ball.
One of those,
it was like, and I didn't know what it was, but it's like this little pellet,
crazy,
and it dissolves on the outside. On the inside is just like this intense,
like pure
mint oil.
It's like mint extract.
Like my nose was running, and I was like breathing deep. She's like,
so like wasabi.
Yeah, it was. It was like a little concentrated bit of like, but mint flavored wasabi, and it was just. It's so intense. I was, and I was walking like. So yeah, be careful what you just accept without like. Make sure you know.
Why would you give that out to people? Like,
well, she said like it's strong. I'm like, well, I don't mind. I like strong mints. But she's like, okay. I'm like, what? So anyway, like oil, like pure mint oil or something like that. I don't know.
Intense. So Amazon Prime.
Yeah, you could probably order those.
Order all that stuff. And you can get a free trial to Amazon Prime by going to radiobrendo.com. Click the Amazon Prime free trial link. And if you have Amazon Prime, or even if you don't, you're still ordering stuff on Amazon.
Sure, everybody does.
Go to radiobrendo.com, click the Amazon link, and then order like normal, and you'll be helping out the show, getting the same great Amazon prices, great Amazon service. And you can order stuff, and then we will read off what people ordered anonymously. Of course, we don't know.
What did people buy this week?
People bought Gel Hu 4-piece women's fashion double rose flower buckle elastic waist belt waistband. A set
of them.
So it's like
a set as opposed to
4-piece waist belt. Is it like the belt is in 4 pieces?
Or is it 4 belts?
Or is it 4 belts? I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I think from reading that, I think it's 4 pieces that you have to assemble into one belt.
I think it's 4 belts.
But I'm confused definitely by the list.
It's 4 belts.
Set of 4 belts.
They're waistbands.
Okay.
I guess they're not belts, but
seeing the picture makes a little more sense.
It's like a waistband, but like it's like all frilly.
Yeah. Okay. So I was wrong. It's not like a transformer, like a Lego belt or something.
You have to assemble your own belt.
Some assembly required.
Okay.
Okay. What else?
That was fun. We got Jason Purifying Tea Tree Deodorant Stick, 2.5 ounce tubes, pack of 3. So tea tree deodorant.
Does it smell like a tree or like tea, or is that the same thing? Or is that the brand?
It's Jason brand.
Oh, Jason brand.
This tea tree.
Okay. Tea tree. Does tea grow on a tree? I was pictured like in a bush. What does tea grow on?
I don't know.
Is it a bush? Is there a tea bush? Tea tree?
Well, tea leaves.
Yeah, I know, but what do they grow on?
Like
tea vines?
I don't know.
I wonder. Gosh, I feel like that's an information that I should have. Like, why do I not know that? What does tea grow on?
Should I type that into Google right now?
Just see, what does it say? What does tea grow on? Because I don't know.
What does tea grow on?
There you go. Other people.
Tea gardens.
But what is it? A plant? Is it a bush?
It says plants.
Like a plant, like a bush. Is there a picture? What are we talking about here?
What is happening right now?
Okay, look right there. There's a picture of it.
Yeah, it's a little plant. It's a tea plant, but I think different ones are different. Maybe there's some of them
that are more like tree-like. Because that looks more like a shrub. Yeah, it's a shrub. But I'm sure there's different kinds.
Usually refers to a fruits or herb, maybe with a tea plant.
Man, I just didn't know that. So tea tree, that must just be the name of the thing. Unless there's actually trees.
Yeah, but
there's different kinds of tea. I suppose it could be, right? Or is it all come from like the same thing and they just do like different mixes on it?
Camellia sinensis is an evergreen plant that grows in tropical tea plants. It's totally a plant.
It's a plant. Yeah, look at that. Those are just like little shrubs.
So is this stuff just like total BS? Like tea tree?
Maybe that's just the name. I don't know. Or maybe it smells like half like
tea tree oil.
I don't know. Tea tree. Just put a tea tree. What's a tea tree?
Now this is just Phil and Brendo Google stuff.
Information.
Tea tree oil.
See, it looks like it's just still coming from the shrub. They're just calling it a.
They're still calling it a tea tree. So this is just like essential oil BS.
But it's deodorant though. Like it's a smell. It's a flavor.
Yeah, this is.
I don't know about that.
And of course, it's toxic when taken by mouth. Like
it's a deodorant. Don't put it in your mouth. That's good to know. Don't lick your deodorant sticks. I think that's a pretty good general rule for deodorant sticks, though. I wouldn't lick them.
The quality of the evidence is low. This is.
All right, we should move on here. We're on tea trees.
Well,
I wonder what it smells like now. Deodorant.
Smells like tea.
All right. People buy deodorant. That's good. Buy everything. Buy all your necessities.
Expensive deodorant, man.
What's for 3 packs? It's for 3 of them.
That's still too much money for deodorant. I would never spend that much money on deodorant. Spend on
a 3-pack of deodorant?
Like $8.
Huh. I don't know how much my deodorant is. Janelle always gets it.
Yeah, you don't even know.
I have no idea.
If that, usually they're on sale. Like the Degree.
I always get it at Costco or Sam's Club or whatever.
Those Degree 2-packs, you can get them sometimes on sale for like
$5. Degree.
$4.
That's the best.
It's way less than that, but this is like fancy tea tree. Sorry, I don't want to make this person. I don't want to feel like we're deodorant shaming them or something.
No, I don't. It's great.
It's great.
I just buy the cheapest thing that there is because I don't care.
Yeah, I bought the
soap too.
I bought the dollar toothpaste, and you know what? It's fine.
It works fine. Yep.
It's got the same exact. I looked at the ingredients, and like it's exactly the same.
Yeah. The soap that I get whatever bar of soap. I don't know, Dove or Dial or whatever's like the absolute cheapest on sale. Sometimes it's Irish Spring.
I'm a little picky with my soaps, but it's usually the cheapest. But I won't get like just the straight up because I don't like the way it feels. Like
I'll get generic. If it's a white box that says soap, I'll buy it.
I'm a little bit but I still get like whatever's on sale.
I'm washing my backside with it. I don't care what it looks like.
I just want it to be comfortable. I don't want it to be all like chalky.
I don't mind chalky.
I don't like
chalky.
I like
to mix it up. Sometimes I get smooth, sometimes I get chalky.
I gotta have smooth.
My body likes me to mix it up.
All right, well, you know what? This guy didn't get mixed up when he ordered his Amazon Basics USB cable.
Nice. 3 feet.
It's a good one.
It's a good link.
Good deal.
It's one of my favorite links in USB cord.
Dr. Christopher's Formula Complete Tissue and Bone Ointment.
That's for a dog.
Is it?
Yeah, you put it on their bones.
Really?
I don't know.
That's not even because of course not. You put it on your bones
and tissues. You put it on a tissue and wipe it on their bones.
Oh, that's so dumb. Not even funny.
I think I'm a little funny.
Put it on your gums. Ew.
Oh my gosh! What did I just watch?
Look at this old dude. This is just like some old dude.
It's Christopher.
It's Christopher.
Okay, this reminds me.
Like, dude.
I forgot to put a movie on Netflix.
That looks like a stock photo of like old grandpa dude.
It's Christopher. I forgot to put a movie on Amazon, on Netflix section that I watched, and I'm probably gonna get internet shamed for even having watched this, but I don't care because I watched The Ridiculous Six, the Adam Sandler straight to Netflix movie.
No,
there's a whole scene with Steve Buscemi where he has stuff like this. It's just like a generic like white cream, and there's a donkey in the room and all the guys, and he like uses it to clean out the donkey's butthole, and then he like wipes it on his lips, and then he like feeds it to one of them, like all without washing, like. And it's like a tub of ointment like that.
Okay, so speaking of generic, this is the most generic product description I have ever. I could just see like a huckster in like a cart in a wagon, like in the Old West, like based on 3 vital processes: cleanse, nourish, and heal. Dr. Christopher's formulas have the most extensive herbal lines to aid your body in retaining or regaining its health through these natural remedies that focus on the cause of the disorder rather than just the symptoms. That is like the biggest like line of like nothing that I've ever
cream.
That does like a dude like this is like this. What is this?
I don't know. It's got high ratings. It's got 4.5 stars. It's a good cream,
dude.
It's got a solid rating for a cream. It's an ointment.
Everybody needs to look up the placebo effect because this is exactly what this is.
It'd be like a lotion effect.
Lotion effect.
Lotion is real. It moisturizes your skin. There's no question about that.
Synergistic combination of herbs for bones, flesh, and cartilage.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's an ointment.
This is. I want to make this stuff.
All right.
Why am I not making this? Why isn't there Dr. Brendo's?
What are you gonna make it? Do it.
You just gotta put
Get out there
herbs.
In what? What's their solution? We don't know. How do they make that cream?
You don't need to know.
Well,
you just tell people that it. Put in it. Then I just put whatever I want in it, and then I just say, based on 3 vital processes, it herbalizes your body.
If you made Dr. Brendo's cream, people would buy it. Just so you know,
herbalizes.
Make some like stuff in your pot, in your crock pot. Just boil it up, put it in a jar.
It's a natural remedy that focuses on the cause of the disorder rather than the symptoms.
Dr. Brendo.
Yeah,
you can do it.
I'll sell it. It aids your. It herbalizes.
Yeah.
The herbal lines.
Just like next time you make a roast in
I'm sorry, we're really like shaming products.
Next time you make a roast in your crock pot, keep the stuff left over. And oh no, you just dropped your crock pot. I forgot.
I did draw my crock pot. Can this stuff fade skin graft scars or acne scars? Nope.
All right, let's move along. That's enough.
Would this be helpful for eczema? And then this guy's like, I don't have these conditions, but I would give it a try.
That's not a helpful answer.
This guy's like, sure,
why not?
Why not? Good luck with that.
Can I drink this? I don't know. Why don't you try?
Possible. Everybody's like, give it a try.
That's funny.
It's possible. I'm not a doctor, but it has helped with everything I've tried it on. What?
All right.
Stinks to high heaven, but it works.
Oh gosh. See, you could sell it. You could just use like your pot.
This stuff was worthless. Yeah, because it's just nothing salve.
It's a salve.
I love it. I want it. I'm sorry. Thank you for ordering this. Whoever's ordering it, I'm sorry.
Look at that. You're shaming our supportive listener.
I want to hear about Dr. Christopher's. See, notice on the actual package, it doesn't say doctor because they probably aren't allowed to put actual doctor on the package, but on the internet, they can put whatever they want.
What are they going to do?
But the packaging, they can't put doctor.
So you could put.
So it would just be Brendo's. But on my Amazon page, it says Dr. Brendo's.
That's funny.
Dude, he gives out his whole recipe.
Olive
oil, wheat germ oil, oak bark, comfrey root, beeswax, marshmallow root. So it's just like a bunch of roots and leaves and olive oil mashed all together.
Do it.
Apply as needed. Anything that's apply as needed, like I'm sorry,
but lotion is apply as needed.
Yeah.
You're not denying that lotion helps.
Don't eat it. May cause liver damage, so don't eat it.
If you eat it.
Comfrey contains pyrrolidine alkaloid, which may cause. Holy crap!
serious illness or death.
What?
If you eat it.
You don't. This doesn't say anything about that eating it.
It should not be taken as a suppository.
Or applied to broken skin.
All right.
But this just says comfrey could kill you, and it's got comfrey in it. It doesn't say that. It says comfrey could kill you.
Consuming this product could cause liver damage.
But then it says it contains comfrey. Comfrey contains alkaloids, which may cause. It doesn't say anything about if you eat them.
Well, don't
this
eat
thing
it.
could kill you. It doesn't. I'm concerned.
None of your beeswax.
All right. Watch out for comfrey.
It's not very comforting.
Can comfrey kill you? What if Google was just like, yes?
How to kill off a comfrey plant.
So it's a weed.
Comfrey is hard to kill.
You're just putting weeds in your body? These are just weeds. Can comfrey kill you? No, but here's how you kill it.
Oh my god.
It's just a weed. What the crap is going on?
Oh man.
Man. I feel like big weed. What? So they're putting weeds in lotion and selling it?
You know you can eat dandelions.
Okay.
All right.
Well, be sure to check out our Facebook group.
Yes, and thank you everyone for buying stuff.
Thank you for buying stuff. I'm sorry that but I'm worried about your health.
Brendan's just concerned. It's a concerned citizen. Sure. You can talk to him about it in the Facebook group. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Or the subreddit.
Those are good places.
I don't know. We don't have any Kickstarter updates. What's going on with the video?
Well, I gotta get that off my camera still.
All right.
It's on the memory card, and I gotta transfer it over. Blah blah blah. But
let's try and make sure that gets deleted or removed.
No, we gotta post it. That's part of the thing. I'll do my best to get it up this week, but we'll see.
No rush.
I know you're not concerned about it. I think it went well.
Well, our Clicker Heroes clan's going pretty well.
Yeah.
Radio space BrendoMan. If you haven't played Clicker Heroes.
10 people now, you said?
I don't know.
Okay.
ClickerHeroes.com.
Good.
Or on Steam or on your phone in the App Store.
Right?
Yep. And when you get to a certain point in the game, you can join a clan, and then you put in radio space BrendoMan, and then you wait a little bit till I notice that the thing says, "Hey, approve this guy."
And then you do.
And then I do, and then hopefully you're cool. You don't have to do anything.
Like, isn't it the whole thing that you don't have to touch it and it just plays by itself?
Well, you got to upgrade your guys and make sure that you're progressing.
All right.
And then if you stop progressing, then you resurrect, you ascend to the next plane
of existence.
Yes. Or to the beginning and you start over.
Oh, okay.
But with all your knowledge.
Wow.
Sounds
cool.
It's amazing. You know what else is amazing is myvacationpants.com.
Yeah.
Because you can learn all about travel, and right now there's lots of posts about Disney World, and Janelle's really doing a lot of awesome stuff there.
Plus there's going to be new posts about us going on our vacation coming up.
Yeah, you got your vacations this summer. Some big trips.
Lots.
And speaking of that, Mandarin Orange Show, you're having a contest right now.
Yes, we are.
And if you listen to the show, and you should listen to the show, it's at mandarinorangeshow.com. That's Phil and his wife, Janelle.
Yeah.
And you guys are in a contest where if you talk about your favorite funny thing from the show or something, you send it in. And Janelle, the prize, you get you get stickers, some songs.
Yeah.
And then the grand prize, you get Janelle will make an itinerary.
Yeah,
for
a trip.
For a trip. You just tell her where you want to go, and then she'll come up with a itinerary for you.
Pretty good deal.
It's a good deal. It's like having a travel agent.
I know. No actual travel is provided.
Yeah, but I mean the planning. I mean that alone, that's a good service.
It is.
It's a pretty awesome prize. I said my funniest thing, and I can just think about it right now. Like your movie time. Movie time. How long did it take you to make that?
I don't know that one.
So you said, did you do it? Was it just you going movie time, or did you actually
movie time?
But you didn't do like a funny little voice to begin with.
That's all just
and then you just went in, and then because it's like movie time, movie time.
And I just played a keyboard over the background and messed with that a little bit.
Movie time.
That was it.
It makes this really funny.
That's good.
Movie time.
I like those. Those are fun.
You know what else is fun?
Yeah.
Mountain Roomscapes.
.com.
Headed up to Big Bear, California. Hey, it's summer. Why want to take a trip if you're in Southern California or headed to the Southern California, come on up to the mountains where it's nice and cool.
Yep.
And while you're up there, do a room escape. MountainRoomEscapes.com is where you can book it. And if you use the code Radio BrendoMan, you get $5 off each ticket, and you get special exclusive gift at the game. And we can personally attest.
Super fun.
Super fun.
Yeah. Been going good. He had his
had like a pretty
opening.
Busy weekend.
Yeah, he had a bunch of groups go through. We've already been knocked down on not off the leaderboard, but down the peg a couple. Yeah. I think like one group beat us, maybe two. So, but we're up there still.
And there were some groups that didn't make it.
Yeah, not all of them have, but a lot of them have.
A lot of them. Seen some big groups.
There's been big groups. Yeah, he's had like full rooms. He's had a couple like a little bit smaller. So I mentioned this later on, but since we're talking about it, so the other thing we did this weekend, was that this weekend? 3-day weekends mess me up. I cannot keep track of all the things, but I guess that was this weekend. It was Saturday.
What? You did another room escape?
So I guess Sunday was the day we did all that stuff at the beach. Because today's Monday.
Yeah.
Man, that's messing me up. Saturday, we went up to Big Bear, and we didn't do another room escape, but Janelle and I got to like help out.
Did you like observe?
They got to observe it.
You watch the video.
Run it.
Where you're like, oh no, you're so close.
Dude, it's awesome. It's so much fun to be behind the scenes, and you can't say anything because, like, you know, if you were to talk out loud, they could hear you to the next room. But like, we're just like, and there's times you're stressing, like, oh no, they're not gonna get this. They're gonna figure it out, and then they find like a big thing. You're like, but you have to celebrate quietly. It's so much fun. And this one group, like the one that beat us, we were there for the one that beat us, and they like flew through. Like they were really, really smart. Mm-hmm. We found out that lady was the city planner, and like I don't know, just really, really smart lady. But she they flew through it so fast. Like at first we thought they were gonna get out of it in like 10 minutes.
Dang.
Like they were like through the first room. We're like, oh my gosh, like they just did it. Is this room too easy? But then other groups haven't made it through at all, or else like very.
But everybody's been having a good time.
He's gotten all 5-star reviews. People are writing on Yelp. People are writing on Facebook. Nice. So it's been going really. Word of mouth is starting to get out
really good.
So it's cool. But
I'm so proud of Matthew.
I know he's got a good little business.
It's awesome.
And it's like, I mean, he's doing well already. Like he's already made enough to like cover his rent for the first month in like his opening weekend, basically. So.
Nice. Well, you can check out all that up in Big Bear, Mountain Room Escapes, MountainRoomEscapes.com.
Yeah,
check it out.
So fun to see this.
You know what else is fun?
Yes.
It's official, everybody.
That's right. We haven't talked about this yet.
We haven't talked about it.
That's right. When did we go? Because we recorded ahead of That's right. This is exciting.
Wait.
I was thinking that we'd already talked about this, but we haven't.
Did we?
Maybe. No, I don't think we did.
When did I find out?
I don't know. Now I'm trying to remember. 3-day weekend messes me up. I can't remember.
I think I found out this week.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I found out like the day before Audrey's play. It was after we recorded.
That's right. Okay, it was after we recorded. Okay.
Now you're messing me up with your freaking weird dad brain.
3-day weekend messes up a dad brain easy, like drop of a hat. I forgot a whole entire day. When you asked me what I did, I forgot a whole day of the weekend.
That's fine. I mean, I didn't have a very eventful weekend either. Well, yours was too eventful.
Mine was so much I couldn't even remember.
Well, this is going to be amazing.
Yes.
I mean, this is something we had hoped.
Yeah.
And I mean, and so now we can officially say we are coming back San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes. We got our webcomics advocates.
Not podcast.
Webcomics advocates.
Hopefully one day.
We'll work on that. But I think we're in, man.
Webcomics advocates. We're in our same time slot, we've had the same room.
2 years in a row.
Yeah, this is our second consecutive year of both.
I think that's a good thing, right? Like I feel like that's in.
Consecutive. This is our first consecutive Comic-Con.
Yeah. Our third time at Comic-Con overall, but the first time we had a
second back-to-back.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. We can't announce the specifics yet because the details may change.
Right.
But we are going to be at Comic-Con. So if you're going to be at Comic-Con, definitely hit us up and we'll be out and about. We've got our recorder now.
Yes.
That'll make a fun Comic-Con. Maybe we can, do some
get some new plugs, man.
New plugs, reports from the floor, little check-ins.
Snippets.
You
want snippets? We'll get snippets.
We'll be like, hey, we're here at the Nintendo booth. And Phil's playing Nintendo.
And then you won't hear from me again for the rest of it.
And then they'll be like, hey, I'm over here. I don't know.
Doing another thing. That's what it'll be like. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Comic-Con is coming up, man. It's happening. It's on.
Also, speaking of good news, Comic-Con Palm Springs. There was some concern at some point, but concerns are no longer
when
there.
You recorded this week's Vendera Show, you were like, "Hey, you should write in and
right
be like, hey."
Well, I talked to him after that. Finally, I got through to the guy, and I think that what's happened because he's like he was apologetic. I think this thing is blown up way bigger than he imagined it was going to.
So that's good news.
It's gonna be good. Like he's running around like a chicken with his head cut off. He's got like guests like crazy.
We were concerned that maybe we had like been like forgotten about or discarded.
But no, he's totally stoked on the whole thing. Like he's real happy we're doing stuff.
We're gonna be there live Radio BrendoMan, live popsicles, live extra damage.
Yep, live Mandarin Orange Show.
A+B or whatever they're gonna still talking about changing their name.
Well, they haven't given me a new name yet, so as of now, it's listed as A+B.
I don't think they should change their name.
I like their name.
You know how we all know how we feel about changing band names.
Yes. Once you've like worked to build even a little bit of name recognition, it's worth keeping unless there's a really good reason. But I'm not the artist in this case. It's up to them.
Well, you should come on out, check it out. We're going to be doing lots of panels. A bunch of our podcasting friends are going to be there. BenV Network, we're all going to be there. And that's in Palm Springs, August 26th through 28th. If you can get your tickets now, they're cheap.
Yep.
ComicConPalmSprings.com. Be there.
It's going to be good.
Stanley Spadowski said, be there.
Baby there.
Yeah. And that's going to, I think that's going to do it for this week.
That's good, yeah.
Not this week.
This Tuesday.
Day.
The day of Tuesday.
Or the day you listen to this.
Whenever it is.
Could be
Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right.
Hope Wednesday's going pretty good.
Yeah. It's good. Hope you're having a good day.
Yeah, or you had a good couple days. Maybe you listen to this over a span of
That's true. This could have been like, what if this is someone listening to this like next year, like you just finally are getting caught up on Radio BrendoMan? I hope you had a good 2016. How was it? Let us know.
And then they listen to one episode like every year.
Well, no, I think they just they took a break. Maybe they,
Now they're going to be really far behind because we're doing 2 episodes a week now.
Yeah, but now they finally have time.
If it's 2017 and they're just not listening to this episode, then that means they've got a whole bunch of episodes.
Well, this is actually the person we're talking to, I think hypothetically, never had listened, but they just got a job where they have a really long commute.
Oh, congratulations. So you congratulate them on getting a job that's really long.
Well, it pays well, and they treat them nicely, and there's a lot of good benefits.
And I guess if you have a long commute, that gives you a lot of time to listen to podcasts like this one.
It's also it's a single person, and so they don't have a family. They're not concerned about missing, being away from them so much.
Okay.
So that you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to feel bad for the kids or anything.
Why don't they move closer to their job?
Well, they really like their place.
They're like locked in at a really good rate.
They got a great deal at it, and they like the job, and they enjoy the time they get to listen to stuff.
Well, I'm glad you're doing that. And I hope it all works out for you.
Yeah. So write to us and let us know how it's going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, how crazy would that be if in 2017 we get an email?
Wow, how did you guys know? That's great. I can't wait.
That'd be the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. You guys are amazing. We just cold read a person in the future. I sense also that you've lost something. Don't worry, you'll find it at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Things that have been misplaced.
Look in your other jacket.
Yeah.
In the closet.
Yep.
Check in your desk drawer.
There's another person out there. Your mom wants you to call them. You should do that.
Definitely call them.
Yeah.
On your tiny, tiny futuristic cell phone.
Yes. In the year 2017, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
That's going to be a huge breakthrough in cell phones.
Yeah.
They're not going to be cell phones anymore. They're just going to be mental.
Yeah, just conjure an image of it in your brain.
That's happening next year.
Yeah.
Next year. I'm excited.
Yeah. We'll hit most of those predictions, I'm pretty sure.
Isn't it weird that for a while they were trying to make really, really small phones?
Yeah, now we've gone the other direction.
They were getting super tiny.
Yeah.
And then we're oh wait, too small.
Now we've gone back and everyone's oh, look at your little screen.
They got that freaking note. It's
it's like they're holding a tablet up to their head. I don't know.
there were people with iPads, like people with iPads at live events. I'm always like,
yeah, when they hold those up.
There? They were doing it at Audrey's thing.
I know. I mean, I guess they're using it. If they're using it for a camera,
I just feel nervous, like carrying around. Like some of those iPads are upwards of like $800-900.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of that, this is the last thing. We need to wrap this thing up. But I'm going to show you a picture I took at Sam's Club tonight. I took this to show you tonight. Look at these books they're selling at Sam's Club.
Senior's iPad, Senior's iPhone.
Yes, it says here, an independent guide to getting started with your Apple iPhone. Set up your new iPhone. Take and edit photos. Make and receive calls. They're selling a book.
Make and receive calls. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Listen to music. Browse the web. 100% independent for seniors.
That's terrible.
Like, that's preying on the old and weak, right? Like,
yeah.
That's horrible. And who's sitting down and who's giving this to their grandpa or grandma, by the way?
That's a real lazy gift.
If you're giving that to them, you should be over there helping them figure out how to use their phone yourself. That's lame. Unless they just buy these and put them out at like rest homes out in the lobby or something.
Also, they look like they're from 1995.
Yeah, this is probably like an Apple iPhone.
No, just like the typography of it and like the design of the like book. They're just like no effort.
Who made that book? Who thought this was a good idea?
Well, I mean, people buy them. People at Costco.
That's just so sad. It's so weird and sad. When I saw that, I'm like, well, I'm taking a picture of that thing.
All right. Well, I think we should call this episode Phil and Brendo Google things.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, good.
And we found out about camphor.
Yeah,
and it's tea. A weed.
And tea is a bush.
Putting weeds and lotion in tea leaves.
Now we know.
Are poisonous.
Now we know.
And they might kill you.
Don't eat it.
Be careful with that lotion.
No, that was deodorant, I think. I can't remember now.
No, the lotion, the doctor lotion.
Don't eat the lotion, but don't eat the deodorant either.
No.
Don't eat any of your medical or bathroom products, really.
It's expensive deodorant to be eating.
Yeah. If you want a good snack, there's a lot of better options.
Can get you some cheaper.
Why are you eating deodorant anyway? That's gross.
If you had nothing else, would you eat your deodorant?
No, I think I would just be ready to go then at that point. I'm done. Sorry, guys.
Like the gel deodorant. But if you were that far gone, like you probably would be like think it was candy.
If you think about like those gel deodorants are the same exact like structure of the dispensers as the little Mexican candies that's put out like the, you know what I mean? And you turn the little
like pops
and it pops up a little like it's the same mechanics.
It's or like a Play-Doh Fun Factory.
Yeah, where you twist it and it pushes it out the little holes.
So
the same company provides it for the little Mexican candies and deodorant and Play-Doh.
All those little Mexican candies are like.
They stopped selling them in a lot of places because they were like had lead or something like that. I'm sure like they have new like not.
I love that I love the ones where it's just like a plastic spoon with like the caramel.
Yeah, when it just like melted onto it. Yeah,
it's just like, but they're so good.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. I don't like the ones that have the spicy.
Well, all the weird spicy ones.
I'm not down with that, but they have like not stuff like.
Have you ever had spicy chocolate though?
I just don't. I don't like the mix. I've tasted some of that stuff. It's not for me.
I like some of it.
It's not for me.
Well, you know what is for me is listening on Thursday.
That's right. We'll see you then.
And until then, go to radiobrendo.com and go to benviewnetwork.com. Listen to the new MBWS on mbwspod.com and have a good time.
Have a good time.
Have a good time with everything, just like us, and we'll see you on Thursday. And for Radio BrendoMan, I'm Brendan Creecy,
and I'm Phil Vecchio.
Have a good one, everybody.
Oh my gosh!
What?
I had one of those diet cherry Slurpees today.
Stop eating those.
And I haven't like evacuated said Slurpee, and
I had those for a while, but then I just started getting like really bad.
I have like the worst stomach ache right now, and I'm gonna have.
They made me feel, and I couldn't figure it out for like a while. Then I realized like,
dude, it's like human Drano though. I'm telling you, like if I'm backed
up, they are really good.
I have some of that, and
it's really good though.
But it's sitting right here right now. Oh,
you gonna be okay?
I think so. But if I like get up and run out in the middle of the next episode, you'll know why.
What am I doing?
I don't know. You're saving the file.
Oh.
Don't delete.
delete all.
Please don't do that.
Oh, I want the desktop. I don't know. Okay.
Four. 2, 3, 4.
Whoa.
Yeah. Okay, so this is mild spoiler from X-Men, and it's going to be an in-between talk here while you're getting it set up.
It's already set up.
Okay, well, super fast. They talked about Return of the Jedi, and they said everyone knows the third one is the worst.
Yeah.
But this was the third one in this series.
Yeah.
So were they saying this is the worst?
It was a funny ha.
Yeah, but they're basically saying this is the worst movie.
Yeah, it was just
series.
is everybody? Yeah, it was a funny little
self-deprecating
humor,
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just thought that was weird that they were making fun of themselves. This movie's terrible, but it wasn't. It was good.
Yeah, I totally. After reading, I'm glad I read the internet because I was expecting a terrible movie, and I was that was fine,
great.
I wouldn't say amazing,
but it was really, really good.
It was.
We'll talk. We can talk more about it on the episode. Actually, I just had to mention that because I saw your Return of the Jedi book here.
I gotta so loose.
Yeah,
I know. My aunt's so annoying.
You're on the air.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't think she's watching this.
Probably not, but posterity and
sorry. I know. Ugh. All right, you ready?
Ready.
Almost forgot. Hello and welcome to another episode of Radio BrendoMan. I'm Brendan Creecy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
And we're back. Back on Thursday.
Yeah.
It's getting warm in here.
It is. We're entering hot times. I don't know if you've looked at the weather.
In the old town tonight.
By this weekend we're gonna be in the 90s.
No.
I think by Monday it's supposed to be 99.
How are we going to be able to record the podcast? We can't have the air conditioner on.
It's going to be very hot.
I don't like it.
We're going to have to do topless podcasts.
No.
I'll just sweat in your chair here.
Ew.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be warm.
Great.
Yeah. So that's happening.
It is happening. What else is happening with you, Phil?
Well, we'll just jump right into it.
Yeah.
Got a lot of fun stuff. We've kind of hinted around at this stuff, and I don't want to say too much more yet still, but we finished the script.
We finished the script. We're in production.
Yeah, we sent it off. The director is pleased. He's been talking about it, so I don't think it's mysterious too much.
Our friend Zach Eastman, who has directed multiple short films, is going to be directing a short film written by us.
That we wrote.
And it's a horror comedy, horror, suspense.
Thriller, I would
thriller,
say.
not really horror, but
suspense,
comedy,
thriller,
thromedy.
A thromedy. That's good.
Systromedy.
Yeah, if we had to describe it in one word, a systromedy, definitely. Okay. There's your title right there. But he's going to be shooting it over the summer.
Yeah.
And
in Colorado.
In Colorado. So that's exciting.
It's very exciting.
So something we wrote is going to be out there.
Yeah, you can watch.
And he's submitted a lot of his other stuff to film festivals.
Yeah, he already is planning on submitting it.
Planning on doing
festivals,
which means technically
maybe you could see it at a festival near you.
That's right. And he's toured around with some of them and actually spoken at them. I've seen So technically speaking, if he makes this and he goes to a film festival, we could be nominated for an Oscar for a short film.
We could.
We're that close.
We're not.
I'm just saying it's possible.
The short films that get nominated for Oscars are always super serious.
Yeah, I know. But up until this point, there's never been even a remote chance that we could have been nominated for an Oscar. We could be nominated for an Oscar.
We could.
It could happen. Before, that's never been a possibility.
Not even possible.
So I think we should put on there possibly nominated for an Oscar. Film by
I don't think I'd be
written by Phil and Brendan.
I don't think I'd feel comfortable.
No,
doing
you wouldn't be happy with that.
I don't think the Academy would be happy with that.
It's possible. They can't argue with that. It's eligible for being nominated.
Eligible.
So if
that's like a level, because I always find it interesting sometimes when I see like some of these like ones with the film festival things, and it's like selection, and then it's like some festival you haven't heard of, and I'm like, because I know there is a festivals out there that selection means you paid your $100 entrance fee.
Right.
I mean, there are ones like Sundance and all that stuff where you have to like be chosen.
There's still an entrance fee.
So, but you still have to be picked, and that's a big deal because that's prestige. But it's not one of these ones where like whoever.
Yeah, if you submit to us with pay, you'll select.
So when the ones there are like I get very suspicious of all those little awards things where it's like selected, or are like things, rather like it's some just like random film festival.
Backyard Film Fest at my place, 2016.
Yeah,
He's gone to like real film festivals.
Yeah. I'm not saying this.
Real eligible for nominations festivals.
I think we should have a Ukaiba Film Festival.
I do too. I've been talking about this since we moved here. I haven't gotten on that because all the other things, but I think it would be so cool.
A Big Bear Film Festival.
They have a Big Bear Film Festival.
Have you been to it?
I have not. They didn't start until after I moved out.
Lots of famous people live in Big Bear. I bet they get like real.
They also shoot a lot of films up there because it's close to LA, but it's like mountain stuff.
I want to go to Big Bear Film Festival.
It would be fun. But I think it would be a cool thing to do here. We've talked about that before, and I've never gotten on it. But man, we should do that. But anyway.
And then we could do like an evil one where we make a bunch of money.
Yeah, well, or we could just do like a kind one and make a bunch of money.
It's true.
One way or another, we've now written a script that is eligible for nomination for Oscar. So if we have any listeners that are part of the Academy, I'd just like to offer that for your consideration.
For your consideration. Is this your consideration?
Yes, this is our campaign. This is for your consideration. So check it out. It hasn't been made yet, but it's going to be. Zach's other stuff is really cool.
Do the writers of the short films get to go? I usually just see it's like
it's probably going to be the director, producer, but that doesn't matter. We can tell our friends. We can tell our listeners. We might not get to go, but I bet we can hang out afterwards with them. Hey, Zach.
We're moving way too far ahead here.
No, I think we're moving right to the exact right amount.
This is not the movies that get nominated for the short category are like weird, quirky, or like serious.
It's serious and quirky. It's funny.
It's okay.
It's great. I think it's Oscar caliber right there.
Well, I agree with you.
Zach liked it.
I know.
Why not? It's time for them to mix it up a little bit. Let's be honest. How many of these short films have you actually ever watched of the Oscars?
There was a couple years where I watched all the shorts.
There's a couple times when I've gone out of my way.
Well, you go to like an indie theater.
Right.
There was the Ragtag in Columbia used to do the Oscar shorts program, and you could watch all of them.
But of the Oscars that you've watched in your lifetime, what percentage of those have you watched the short films?
Well, I don't even really watch the Oscars anymore because I kind of got tired of it.
Even followed along with.
It was very small.
Very few. Most people, that's the case.
Because, now with the internet, it's easier to watch them, but it used to be where, like, where were you ever going to watch those?
Right. So, even if we do, get nominated and win, obviously, if we did, we're not going to be super famous yet, but it won't hurt. Regardless.
If we won an Oscar, that would be insane.
I know.
We've
never been eligible before.
Dude. Could you imagine if, like, I don't know, I've always thought about, like, would I be the guy that, like, makes it so, like, Oscar speeches don't happen anymore?
What would you do? Yeah. See, again, I don't think the writer of the short film, they're not making a speech.
I'd make sure. What if I
want a speech?
I run up there. I wrote this.
Thank you. Yeah, no. You'd make it so they don't have short films in the Oscars anymore. That's it. We're done. Stupid category anyway. Didn't want it in there. That's how I
get blackballed.
Yep, that's it. That's your one and done, man.
It's a guy. It's that short films guy.
Yep. Then they make a documentary about you called The Short Films Guy, and you can get
the
nominated
man who ruined short films.
The man who ruined short films, and you not could get nominated. And you can go back again.
In the documentary category, and then we win it all.
Then you get documentary killed off.
I'm like, hey, I was in this, so I get to be up there. And then they're like, oh no,
he's back again. We may be getting ahead of ourselves a bit at this point. We now cast you in an Oscar-nominated documentary about how you ruined the Oscars. Yeah. It's going to be good, though.
What else?
It's going to be cool. Well, I talked already about working behind the scenes at the Mountain Roomscapes last time. That's what that one's about.
Oh,
talked about the show. Talked about boardwalk stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the one last thing I didn't mention, just real quickly, is today we went to Sam's Club to do some shopping, and they have a little garden section sometimes, and they had blueberry bushes that were on sale for 50 cents each, 51 cents.
When do they bloom?
Well, here's the thing. They were marked down a bunch. That's why they were only 51 cents, because it's kind of late in the season. So it's a gamble. But we bought 6 of them for $3, so I figure it's worth a gamble.
Will they grow next?
Maybe. I don't know. But my hope is we can have blueberry bushes. I like blueberries.
You may have just bought a bunch of sticks.
I also may have just bought a bunch of sticks for $3. We'll see. But anyway, that was my little garden announcement, little update in the orchard. How about you? What's going on with you?
So previously I had gotten axed from a field trip. So then the teacher who I do a lot of stuff for, and she's really cool, she invited me to go on the 8th grade field trip last Friday.
Yeah.
So we went to Fiesta Village.
It's like a little fun center type place.
We were there from like 8 in the morning and like until like 6 p.m.
Oh, really?
We were there forever. And by the end, like the kids were like done. They're like, I want to.
So what did you do? Did you actually like do this stuff? Or?
Well, I didn't really like. They had like water slides, but the body slides you had to take your shirt off, and then like the tube one, I was like,
yeah.
So I didn't do the water slides, but I did play miniature golf with some of the teachers.
Nice.
And the line for go-karts was insane, so I didn't really. It was hot, and like I was just like, and then a bunch of the teachers, we played laser tag with the kids.
Nice.
And so that was
fun.
Cool. And then I mostly just hung out with the teachers inside where it was cool and where we weren't getting bothered by the kids. And they gave us like plastic teacher cups that are good for unlimited refills forever.
Really?
Like I think I can take it back there with this cup.
That's cool.
And just get like free refills.
Nice.
So I just like drank. They had like a Coke Freestyle. So and I really like came off like a big nerd because I showed the other teachers my Coke Freestyle app.
Nice.
And I'm like, oh, can I get this like mix? Like I wanted like it was like this springtime mix that's really good. And they're like, look at this tech guy. He's got a freaking app for the soda machine.
You just cemented your cred there. Like, oh, tech guy. Of course he's gonna have
soda machine
machine app.
Yeah, so that was pretty fun, and then just hanging out with the teachers. It was good,
cool.
like getting to know teachers, and they're talking to because we're getting ready to become more of a like STEM, like which is what science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
I think that's it, something like that.
And like a super nerd school, basically.
Yeah. But it's really cool. It's a much more immersive way of doing education. And
yeah.
Janelle's done a lot of training with it.
So, like, starting next year, they're offering, like, so it's like this gradual process. And starting next year, they're offering programming classes. Nice. So, like, the math department, it's like the math teachers are going to be so they're going to this conference to learn how to teach the classes.
Okay.
And, like, so I was talking to one of the teachers, and she's kind of like, you got to help me because like because she's like a math major in school, and she's like, I started off in computer science, but it was like I can handle the programming stuff, but now they have me, it's going to be teaching, it's a computer science class, and like the tail end of it they do programming, so she's like a little nervous about it, but I'm like, I think you're going to be fine.
That's cool. You're like in.
We got these new Android tablets that they're going to be making, because I guess they make apps. Like, it's crazy. Can you imagine, like, in junior high, like,
you got to make
learning to make an app? So awesome.
You get one of them to make us a Radio BrendoMan
I
app?
should. But so field trip was fun, and it was like, it was funny, like, one time we had to go around, like, our kids we had a group, we each had a group, and you had to, like, check them in, like, every few hours.
Okay.
And then, like, I'm like, okay, meet at the Dairy Queen at 3:00. So I'm sitting there, and then these other kids, they're like, aren't you the computer guy? Why are you on our field trip? And I'm like, they needed a chaperone. They're like, oh, that's cool. It's like, so, and they're like, and then I forgot, she's like, so what do you do? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I'm like, I get, like, what is your job? And I'm like, I fix computers. And they're like, where do you work? I'm like, well, I work in an office. And they're like, so you sit around? Well, I think they were like, why? I thought they're like, why would you want to go on the field trip? I'm like, because it beats working like all day. And they're like, it does. And I'm like, I guess you'll understand.
Kids don't
I guess
understand.
they don't
like, what being an
understand
adult
like
is
what
like.
like work because I'm like, yeah, this is a million times better.
Yeah, hanging out
like
at a
I just sit and hang out at a amusement park and get free soda refills, and the teacher leading the trip bought me pizza.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, and then
Good deal.
like, and then we got like they gave us hot dogs and stuff, but a bunch of the kids didn't want their hot dogs, so it was like
you got leftover hot dogs.
We had like a pile of hot dogs where the teachers were, so we were all just like.
So did you ride like the bus over with them, or okay?
We had like charter buses for our whole 15-minute bus drive.
I was gonna say that's not a very long drive.
Because I don't know, yeah, it was cool.
That's cool.
And then they gave all the kids got season passes.
Really?
To Fiesta Village, but I got my unlimited drink cup.
So I mean, this kind of beats the other one.
I would have rather have gone to the aquarium.
Okay.
But
it's longer on a bus out there.
Yeah, but I mean, it was fun though. It was fun. It was just it was a lot of. It was just kind of hanging out, but it was cool. Like, I mean, it definitely beat like again work.
Yeah, think of your other jobs. Which one of them had you hang out at an amusement park and get free sodas all day?
Yeah, exactly.
Good deal.
It's pretty sweet.
That's cool.
And then also the big event this weekend was yesterday. I recorded a new MBWS, Mr. Brendo, Matt and Brendo's wrestling show with new co-host Veronica Steele, and talking about she never watched wrestling before, so she just started and she's really into it. But she's asking me all these questions like, "What's a suplex?"
It's a good intro show if someone's interested, I guess.
And also just cool hearing a different voice and like what a total like person that's new, like what wrestlers do you like? What's the weird things are you noticing?
Right.
And it was kind of interesting to hear from somebody that had like, this is all I do pretty much, and like so immersed, and then to hear like a fresh take. And I think it's gonna be entertaining. And I think hopefully people are gonna like it.
I like to think I had something to do with
you totally did.
MBWS.
Because we started talking about it on here, and then Veronica posted in the Facebook group like, "Hey, I'll do it."
Yep.
And then I was like, "That's a great idea." And then we talked more about it, and then we were like, "Let's do it."
And now it happened.
MBWSpod.com.
Sweet.
Where we were doing every week.
It's good.
And there's lots of big stuff happening in the wrestling world, so we got plenty to talk about. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, I went to Audrey.
Yes.
She had her opera.
The Three Piggy opera.
Because I remember I was like, "You ready for your play?" She's like, "It's not a play.
It's an opera."
It is. And also, it is so weird. But I know I've mentioned it before, but Audrey's voice is different.
It is. It's like it aged her back a couple years because it's not that higher pitched voice she used to have.
It's really weird.
Yeah. It's like it started out after the surgery, it was like croaky. Yeah. Then it got like really high pitched, and it's sort of leveled out a little bit now. It's not as different and weird as it was, but yeah, it definitely changed. But she's sleeping a lot better, so
But she was really cute. She was one of the pigs.
Yeah.
And she had it just seems like some of these kid plays, they don't really put a whole lot of effort. Like there's very minimal like
stage direction.
And then it's just like all these kids just sitting on the steps.
Well, because Audrey got to have one of the like main roles, so she had more stuff.
So there's there's two sets. There's 3 pigs, but each one there's 2 of each pig.
Because there's multiple classes.
There's 2 classes, together, I guess. And then there's 2 wolves.
Right.
And there's 2 of each of the sellers of the farmers selling the material.
It's a very detailed telling of this.
And then because I'm like, oh, this can go either way, because it was like they had like it took like 10 minutes to get to like, okay, the wolf's coming.
Yeah,
I'm like,
the peddlers that sell the sticks have a song each
guy had a song, each thing has a song. So first I'm like, wait, could this be like super long? And then it ended up only being like 17 minutes.
17 minutes start to finish.
Phil timed it.
Well, because I was recording the whole thing,
But it was also like, if you're not one of the main, like the pigs or the wolf, like the main pig or the wolf, you were just sitting and like you could tell some of those kids like did not.
Well, I was talking to one of the moms in line, and she's like, "My kid's so mad." He said he didn't even want to do. He's like, "This is dumb. I'm just in the choir. I don't want to." And she's like, "You be the best choir pig you can." He's like, "It's stupid, Mom. I don't want to do this." And she's like, "You're gonna do it."
Some of them are just like sitting there, just like, I don't care.
Yep. You can tell. But it was cute. It was fun, and again, over quick and easy, so that's nice.
Yep.
Plus, also on that day, Audrey had her dance recital. This was while you were at work still, because they did that like at the end of the school day.
It's a lot of things.
Well, here's what's funny about it. So
she had never been in
the dance class was like an elective after school. Yeah. But the way it worked out this semester, well, they do it like a trimester. And the way it worked out, she only wound up going to 2 classes with the teacher, one of which was on the day of the recital. Because at the beginning of the class.
So how did she know what to do?
Well, she had one class where they had a sub because the teacher couldn't make it. And the sub only kind of like showed them some stuff, but not really. Then she had a regular one with the teacher. Then the teacher was gone again, and they didn't have a sub. Then Audrey missed a couple of classes because she had her surgery. It was on the same day, so she missed 2 in a row for that. And then the next week, they planned a last-minute field trip for her grade level, and it happened to be on the day of the dance class. So she only got to go like 2 times.
So how did she know what to do?
She when she showed up, she's like, "Can you show me the dances real quick?" Well, here's the funny part. This whole like recital that we came out to, there's one song. They did one song.
What kind of recital is that?
And there was 4 kids in the class.
Why even have a recital?
It was cute. They did a good job. Audrey was super cute.
So what is like 2 minutes?
Well, the funny part is that you'd probably recognize the song if you heard it, but I can't think of how it goes. But there's a part in it that said the lyrics or something like, "And I get up and dance." And every time it says that, one of the girls gets to have like a little solo where they just like freestyle dance.
Is it like Jimmy Jr.?
Yeah, so Audrey just makes up her stuff, and like each one of them just kind of gets up and messes around. It was awesome. You got to see the video of it. But anyway, so that happened too on that same day.
All right, and then I had told you I read in the paper.
Yes.
Well, yes. Not the physical paper on Google News, the Ukaipa.
Right.
Because I have the Ukaipa on Google News. I have the Ukaipa news box.
Right.
So this popped up in there, and it was a review of a new restaurant in Ukaipa, which that's a big deal. Because it was like, new stuff, and it's called Abby's Cafe. It's in the shopping center. It's next to the Stater Brothers.
Okay. Yeah.
Like there's like that mom and pop video store, which I've never been in there.
Is that still there?
It's still there.
Kind of do want to go in there too. I'd never have.
I just want to go see what's going on in there.
How are they staying in business?
Well, I bet you it's porn.
Well, that's the only way. Either that or I don't know.
I don't know. That's why I want to go see what's going on in there.
What's going on in there?
They also it's like one of those they got a bunch of weird stuff going on, and I don't know.
They have cell phones, probably
water. A lot of them sell water.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so it was by that.
It's right next door to the video store.
Okay.
And then there's like this super nice cafe and and they're reasonably priced, similar to Clarky's.
Okay. Yeah.
And I had an omelet, and it came with potatoes and a pancake, and
nice.
Their specialty is their French toast, but I wanted an omelet. And they had like some walnut.
What was there before? Is that where the Radio Shack was?
Yeah, I guess so.
There's no Radio Shack there anymore.
No, but I think they took 2 storefronts and because it's pretty big. I think it's next to the Radio Shack because the Radio Shack is still empty.
Still there?
It's empty.
Oh, it's empty. Okay. Because that place, I don't know how that was hanging on.
I don't know.
Anyway, so Abby's is good though.
That punchline is gone now because I think they are finally all gone. Because that was like an ongoing thing. Like, how's Radio Shack still? I didn't know they were still there.
I know, but it really is good.
Because I was like, for years, they're like, Radio Shack about to go out of business.
Well, because I went into it because when they were like,
they went through all these phases. We're like, all right, we're selling phones now. All right, we're selling this now.
I went in because I heard that I think Adam Wells tipped us off that maybe they had some video games on.
They also had like BB-8s.
Yeah, I went in there and all they had was phones. I'm like, oh, you guys have video games? They're like, no, I don't do that anymore. I'm like, okay, well, thank you. You need a phone? No, I'm good.
So this Abby's Cafe, it's there. So if you're in Ukaipa, check it out. It's good. Good breakfast. So the day. Also across the street, I'd never seen this place before. There's a paperback. It's called Paperback Trader or something. There's a used bookstore.
Where?
It's closed. It's right across the street. So this is like, there's like there's the Rite Aid and there's a UPS store.
Yeah.
And then around the corner there's a Japanese restaurant.
Yeah.
And next in between the UPS store and the Japanese.
Moved here though.
Oh.
I don't think that exists anymore.
Because the sign's still up.
Yeah, but that's
I just thought maybe it was closed today.
I'm pretty sure, unless I'm wrong, there's been a closed one over there, right by I know what you're talking about.
It's right there next to the Japanese restaurant.
Yeah, that's not open anymore.
Have you been in that Japanese restaurant?
I have not, no.
That place looks good too.
It does. It's a lot of good. There's a lot of good places around, but did you see that the little greenhouse Chinese food place closed down?
That place is gross.
I liked it. You like it?
I wasn't a fan.
All right.
I mean, they had the drive-through,
which is cool,
but it was just kind of like,
Not that good. All right.
I missed that other place.
The one up in Uptown. I can't believe that's gone. I still dream about
There's
that.
There's this one in. I forgot where it is, but there's like a 4.5-star Yelp one that I haven't been to yet.
In town?
It's like I think it's on County Line.
Okay. So yesterday when we were driving around out, by the beach stuff, we passed the Mongolian barbecue place, and I was like, I want to eat there so bad. And I was like, Brendan would kill you if we ate here. And then I posted about it on Facebook. He would kill you. And I'm like, you're right.
I'd be really bummed.
We can't eat here. So we didn't eat Mongolian barbecue.
I don't know. I wouldn't. I guess that's your prerogative.
But I would.
But after you denied
it to you up there,
and then
I go like,
but there is a place in Moreno Valley. Maybe Steve knows about it. It's one of the higher rated ones on Yelp in the area.
When Matthew lived down there,
because the one by my school is 3 stars on Yelp. It sounds like it's fine, but if I'm gonna go out somewhere, one, it's closer, and it sounds like better. It sounds really good.
Well, yeah, Matthew had eaten at that one in Moreno Valley, and he said it was good. So we never got to actually try it.
You gotta go do it.
We gotta do that. But I held off for you.
Oh,
and also because Janelle's like, no, Brendan will kill you. We cannot eat here. Like, yeah, but it looks
she
so
anticipated
good.
The,
so what if I'm gonna want to post about it, and he's gonna see it, and he's gonna be so mad at you. You didn't let him eat it before, and now you're eating it without him. Like, you're right.
I'm like, I really want.
I want Mongolian barbecue.
There's been a few times during the week at school where I'm like, I should just go over to that place, but I'll be really late. I don't think I have.
You gotta have time. Mongolian barbecue is a little bit of an investment in time.
Yeah,
you gotta savor it.
Like hour minimum.
Yeah, at least.
So it's not like a quick in, quick out situation.
I mean, if you're going to do a one-time thing, that's fine, but it's got to be like a reasonable price. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, like the ones at the mall where it's like $7.
That's fine. I'll do that. But you don't have to it's not like a tipping, like table service type situation, Anyway. But I held off for you.
Now I'm thinking about Mongolian barbecue.
I know, it sounds good. If I didn't have a diet Slurpee like gurgling in my belly.
You're saying that bookstore has been sitting there for all these years?
Yeah. Because I remember when we moved to town, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a bookstore right here. And then we went and looked. I'm pretty sure it's just empty in there.
How does that stay empty? Like how?
I don't know. But
I don't understand commercial. Unless I don't understand commercial real estate.
I don't either. The only possibility is someone else could have reopened it or bought it. Well, I haven't gone over there in a while.
I just thought maybe. Well, you're probably right because I just assumed it was closed because Memorial Day. Because I was half expecting this Abby's place to be closed, but it was open. Most stuff was open.
There are 2 bookstores in town, though.
There are.
I've taken you to one up there. The other one's down by the Teriyaki Time, that Goodwill place.
Oh, I've been in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been to the 2. Okay, you've been to the 2.
That one's not as good.
It's not as good. They're like sale piles are good. Though. Yeah. You can get some good sale stuff.
And also, but at least that one though doesn't have the
Yeah, you don't have the socially awkward situation where you're like, congratulations. Oh, your wife's pregnant, right? I'm like, oh, dude, you don't say that to someone.
Well, speaking of books, it's time for Book Corner.
That's right. Oh, man. You're going to be disappointed in this Book Corner.
Oh, my gosh. Have you read anything?
I have, but I'll tell you. You do yours first.
Well, I finished 2 books.
All right.
I finished The Name of the Wind, Patrick Rothfuss. It was really, really, really good.
What was the name?
They didn't say.
It's the title, and they don't ever tell you the name of the wind.
I mean, it's dangerous to know.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I mean, he didn't. It's that's a secret. If I knew it, then
a secret to everyone.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, not to the guy.
Okay.
But it was a really cool book. And I want to read the next one, and I probably will at some point. It was really good.
Nice.
And then I read the boss fight books, for Baldur's Gate 2. Which I never played that game before. It's a very famous. It was one of the first BioWare games.
Right.
And I mean, I heard a lot about it. I think I might even have it on my Steam again. I don't know. I have a lot of games in there. But the book is, how boss fight books are. They're part memoir, part history.
Right. It's interesting anyway.
And so it was. And this guy, because he was a writer and he'd been hired to write a Dungeons and Dragons book, he kind of had this idea in his head that he had to forget his whole past of role-playing gaming because he's a serious writer and serious people aren't into fantasy nerd stuff. But then writing that book got him back in and playing Baldur's Gate and playing Dungeons and Dragons again. Huh. And he rediscovered his geek side and that it's okay to, and he embraces it now. And so it was a really cool, little book.
It makes me think of a really cool somehow like doing a room escape, but tying it together with like a role playing type experience as well.
Yeah,
that could be really cool.
Levels.
Yeah, or I don't know, rolling for.
Whoa.
I solved this puzzle. I don't know. That might be dumb. Maybe it's better left alone.
Then you're just playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
As a puzzle.
Yeah.
Play Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, that's probably dumb.
No, I think you might be on something.
Could be.
All right, and then I'm reading S. I finished another. It takes a long time because so the way you read the book part,
right.
and then you read the notes part, and so I'm through one chapter, and the chapters are really long. So I'm making my way through it. It's really good. Yeah. It's really good, and like stuff's happening, and it's like it's pretty cool.
Sweet.
So that's what's going on. Oh, and I'm reading. I don't know. I was just really stoked about Game of Thrones, and I was looking for more stuff to read. And I kind of got tired of. I'm taking a little break from all those because most of the books that I have left to read in my Kindle library are like those video game books and stuff because I have tons of them. And so I'm taking a little break from that. So I'm like, I haven't read Game of Thrones in a while because I've been wanting to go back through because I haven't watched it. I haven't read it since the show started. So by the time the show started, I had already read through.
So he hasn't written another one since the
show started.
Huh. I thought there was like one that came out while
one came out like right in between. Book 5 came out in between season 1 and 2, but it was like it was already almost done before the show started.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I had already read the first first 4 before the show even started.
Huh.
And so it's been a long. That's how long. And like we're on season 6 now, and so that's where I wanted. So I wanted to go back and see and see what's different,
right?
And like how much. And it's like it makes me appreciate the show even more because I'm like, it's pretty. And then it's also reminding me of things like, oh yeah. And then there's like things from book 1 that they just now did in the show, and they like move stuff around and they save stuff and yeah. And
cool.
And then there's like the big mysteries of the book that still haven't been revealed, but there's a lot of theories and there's some very prevalent theories, which so far everything that I've read seems to support that prevalent theory. So just things like that, and I'm already it's like 800 pages, but that's mostly what I did this weekend was read Game of Thrones like for hours, like when you really get sucked in a book and you look and like just out and like it's such a great. It's what I love about
that
books.
Feeling, yes.
And so that's what I've been like. I'm already like 80% done. I've read like hundreds of pages just in the last. Like I started on like Saturday.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I had a different experience with books this week. I did read some more of Harry Potter. Finally got past the match.
Yeah.
That was just such a slog for me. I'm telling you.
That's so like weird because it's so fun. I love
the rest of this year. Like I've been reading a pretty good pace through it, and the whole sports thing really killed it for me. Like the momentum just dive bombed.
But then it gets really exciting.
Well, okay, so finally I got past it, and there's like some the aftermath of it because there was a big signal set up.
Yeah,
and blah blah. So
the Death Eaters.
I finally got to that.
So you finally see the Death Eaters.
Yes, but in between, I was like, I put it off by reading Story Thieves. I'm a good chunk of the way through the stolen chapters. Finally, the James Riley book.
It's freaking awesome,
it's amazing.
Right? It's so
the
nuts.
Structure where all the chapters are stolen, and so their memories are erased, and then he slowly puts in a missing chapter number 1, and then you see the parts that were missing from it before.
And freaking,
he's amazing. And then the whole thing with the relative of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spoil too much because I feel like you got to just experience it. Our listeners need to read these books because it's awesome. And I'm excited. I'll finish that up this week, and I got to get in touch with him.
Because we got to talk to him. There's so much to talk about.
Oh, it's so good.
He's like a freaking genius.
He's a genius.
I don't know how he pulled that off.
I don't know because this book just feels like a masterpiece.
It's like one of the most meta things ever.
Yeah, and I know where it's going now, and I'm just like, this is awesome. But again, I don't want to spoil too much because I feel like this is something people need to just try out because it's such an awesome it's so good. So anyway, that kind of sidetracked me. But I did start reading Harry Potter again. Now that I'm past the sports thing, I think that'll pick up for me. It's too sportsy.
Well,
that's okay.
Going forward,
I know that's not how it all is. Man.
If it's any consolation, later on, there's like, that's like, from then on, like, there's like hardly any Quidditch.
I didn't
like
mind
for the
it,
rest
like,
of the series.
Small chunks of it were okay, but this one was like literally 150 pages of
the
Quidditch.
Quidditch World Cup.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is this ever going to end? This is horrible. And I haven't felt that way about the rest of the series. It's just that
important things happened, and you might have missed.
No, I paid attention.
Some of the details.
I would read like a couple pages, and I'm like, oh, I can't do this. I got to read something else. I got to do something else. Every time the announcers are like, and he's swooping in, 2 goals. I'm like, I'm done. I can't read this right now.
Really?
I don't enjoy that.
So weird.
I know. I'm a weirdo, I guess, but that's how it is.
Well, what else we got?
New movies!
New movies!
So we both saw a new movie at different times.
Yeah, because...
different reasons.
Well,
our plans, we had a last-minute visit we didn't know about, but my mother-in-law and her husband came into town, like, on a... I mean, I guess they were planning it, but I don't think they, like, told us. So they came in on Saturday, and I think they emailed us or texted us, like, Friday night. And said, hey, we're going to...
like your worst nightmare.
No, I mean, it just... Well, here's the thing. Our house is not in, like,
insert
visitor...
every mother-in-law joke ever. No, oh, mother-in-law in town.
Our house is not in, like, pop-in ready status right now, and we had, like, all kinds of stuff going on. It's great, though. We've had a nice weekend and stuff. But, yeah, like... I like notice. I like to plan a little bit ahead of time. I'm spontaneous, but it worked out fine and everything is good. We had a good time hanging out and stuff. But anyway, long story short, we were planning on going at some point this weekend, and it didn't work out.
Because then you were going to go at like 10:45.
Well, we did. We went early in the morning, and it was great.
You.
The kids did the play thing, and it was all fun. But
okay,
so we saw X-Men separately. So what did you think?
We saw X-Men. First off, I got a little angry because one row down from me, somebody brought in a toddler, and it was just like walking around like during the movie.
Why?
They like there is a freaking thing. I wanted to, if I had cash, I would have been like thrown $8.
Go put your kid
because they were seriously getting up and like wandering.
Our kids love that too. It's not like a punishment for them.
So, because I'm like, this kid doesn't care what's going on in this movie.
Because we even offered to our kids, we're like, would you rather go see Alice in Wonderland with us or go on the kid thing? Like, we want to go on the kid thing. Like, we want to see that movie, but we really want to go on the kid thing. We're like, okay, go on the kid thing.
So X-Men Apocalypse, after reading what everybody was saying on the internet, I was expecting this to be like worse than Batman v Superman.
I didn't read much. I tried to stay away from it.
I didn't read much, but I did read, like, Derek liked it. So I was like, all right, that's interesting, because I was expecting, like, because I had read some, like, people were just dumping.
What was their, I guess, spoiler
they said
if you haven't seen it.
Boring, stupid, over the top, didn't make sense.
I mean, it's a superhero movie, so it's over the top by nature.
Just like really, like, just like nonsense.
I don't understand any of those things.
I don't either, so I thought it was fine. My one thing is, I was trying to figure out like what I was like. It's always I read somebody and then they kind of put the words better than me. But I just feel like, how many times are we going to see the like Magneto's something? It feels like every X-Men movie is something sets off Magneto and then he gets talked down and then he joins their side to fight the real bad guy. That is every X-Men movie. Theme. Every single, and there's always the like Charles. Like I feel like we've watched that scene between him and Charles like 6 times now.
Well, okay, so
like every movie, it's the same.
That ties together with
and I'm just like, thing. And I guess I'm just like, I get it. Like Charles has I guess that's unconditional trust and love. But at some point, I'm like, Charles, you're a freaking idiot. Charles, you're a moron. Yeah, but then it's also boring that I have to see this over and over and over and over again.
I can see that. So it ties into my one thing, which is a minor issue.
And then my only other thing is like, they just like, again, this is what I emphasizes what Marvel Studios does, kicks everybody's butt at doing, is like they're just introducing people like left and right, and I'm like,
I know who that is, but most people don't. And also, like, you don't care about any of these. Like, here's Jubilee, here's this person, here's that person, here's this, here's that.
I did feel like Jubilee was heavily underused.
And they just like stick them all in, and you don't care about any of them, and you don't like.
But I'm there. A lot of times, what they did with the old X-Men ones is they would pop in these people for a little cameo, and then the next
but even then they still just like, I don't know. I just feel like but I mean, I thought it was, again, I enjoyed it. I did not like it. It was entertaining. It was really good. And there were parts that I really, really liked. Quicksilver stole the show again.
Yeah, he's great.
Like, just the best parts. And then Weapon X Wolverine was awesome. Like, there were so many things that we've been waiting for them to do forever, but I just feel like they did them all at once. And I think that might have been the problem, where they're just like,
that didn't. So,
it wasn't enough of like the cool stuff. But there was a lot of cool stuff. I mean, we finally saw the X-Men, and like, it's the closest we've ever seen to the real to the 90s costumes.
Yeah.
It is the closest. Like, and we had to like sit through that whole movie just to get to those, because first they're in those flight suits. You're like, all right, what are these suits? These are kind of the suits, but not. But then at the very end, and then I'm like, why is that that should have been the very first. If that had been the very first thing, I'd be like, yes, this movie, like, yes, like, this is X-Men. But like, that's the very end, and then they gave the last shot of the movie is in the trailer. Like, I feel like the trailer gave way too much, where that shot of the iconic Professor X shot, which was like the money shot, that's the very last shot of the movie.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
It doesn't spoil anything.
And then I'm sorry. Okay, here's my one last thing.
All right.
I guess I got, but I still, again, I give this like 3.5 stars.
Wow. Okay.
3 stars, 3.25. I was fun. I enjoyed it. I didn't mind Olivia Munn.
Which one is Olivia Munn?
Psylocke. I mean, she barely talked.
Oh yeah. Why did you not mind? Like, she was great. What was wrong with that?
Well, I hate Olivia Munn as like a person.
What? Like, what is your? I don't know. I don't even know.
You know, that's a long.
That's fine. Well,
I don't.
As an actress, she was great. I thought it was good.
Because she's bad in almost everything else. She almost ruined The Daily Show. She's dumb and some of the other stuff she's in. She's not good.
She was good Psylocke.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Psylocke was cool.
I was fine with Psylocke. I was fine with. I liked I like Kylo Ren. Not Kylo Ren, the other guy. Oscar. What's the other?
About?
He's the other guy from Force Awakens. What's his name? Oh, you don't know who Apocalypse was?
No. Oh, like the British
Oscar
guy?
Isaac.
Oh, it is really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I did not know that.
What's his name in Force Awakens?
Poe Dameron.
Yeah. Poe Dameron, man.
I didn't know that was him.
Yes.
Well, I had a different take on it because I liked it a lot more than you, I guess.
Oh, and then my last thing that I thought was annoying is if I have to look up like what the significance of your end credit scene is, like, screw you.
I don't know. That doesn't bother me.
That was like super inside baseball.
I actually, I don't know.
That's annoying.
You weren't familiar?
No.
I hadn't even heard of it?
No.
All right. Well, okay. I had a very different take on it. I think I liked it a lot more than you did. I think this was my favorite of the First Class
that's crazy
generation. I thought it was great. My only issue...
Future Past was way better.
I don't know. I had way more issues with Future Past. I loved Future Past, but some of the time travel stuff was a little like ridiculous, and some, not to the point of not enjoying it, but my only thing with this one, and I think maybe Future Past explains some of that stuff, is just some of the continuity within the whole overall series.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is this whole thing is all janky
because like Nightcrawler, and the Nightcrawler,
that's been an issue since First Class.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. Like all the things, like there's so many different things that don't.
How are we supposed to like? X-Men takes place. The first X-Men movie takes place in 2000. You're telling me that James McAvoy is going to turn into Patrick Stewart in like 15 years?
Well, I'm okay with that, but more like some of the characters, like again. So you have.
Well, why is like we still haven't?
Because when they met Nightcrawler in the second one, they were like, "Oh, this is a crazy new mutant we've never heard of." Blah blah blah. And then like. But he was a part of like their team at this point.
That's again like that's always been an issue in.
But then
movies.
we still have Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, so it's the same universe.
That's exactly.
And the other ones have all confirmed that. So it's not enough to like make me not enjoy the movie, but it definitely again testifies to Marvel Studios' ability to keep continuity.
And Alan, what's his face? Not that there was anything wrong with this. I like Nightcrawler, but Alan, what's his name? Boris.
Yeah, what is his name? I like him.
He
was a fantastic.
Was amazing.
See, I think this guy works as a young one,
but I still want.
I liked him, but again,
apparently that guy and Bryan Singer like hate each other, so that'll never happen. Never.
Alan, what was it? Anyway, but I liked it a lot, though. I thought it was great.
I liked it.
That part is not enough. I mean, for me, I would put it at 4.25 stars out of 5. I thought it was my favorite of this new series.
I just felt like it was again like not original. How many times is it? How many times?
But if it's well done, I don't mind. It was the
same. It's the same thing though.
But it was different. He was the 4 horsemen. He was one of the horsemen.
He's still like, oh, he's bad. Oh, nope, he's something turned him bad. Now we got to turn him good again.
Struggle. That's okay.
So
I'm okay with that. What's wrong with that?
That's every one though.
So
it's every time.
I don't mind that.
I don't know. You don't mind that it's not original?
Nope. I that to me, the idea, and people like complain, for instance, about Force Awakens or other movies. Oh, it's just an echo. But if it's a new twist on it, every story is not original. Every one of these has been done time and time again.
But it's not even different characters. It's like the same thing.
But that's what I'm saying. Like every movie, every story comes from a very limited.
This isn't what that
story.
Is though. This is even lazier than that.
I disagree. It's that he's got an ongoing struggle with internal.
It's not even. He's not even growing though. It's just the same thing over and over again. That's okay.
He hasn't. That doesn't bother me. I don't mind that.
All right. Okay.
But regardless, I enjoyed it overall. I thought it was great, and it was also definitely like I mean, this shouldn't come as a surprise, but it pushed the limits of PG-13 as far as violence goes. Which it always fascinates me how far they can go with violence.
People don't care about violence.
Yeah, because it was there was some pretty graphic stuff. Like Janelle covered her eyes for it had several of her least favorite genres as she put
throat slitting.
She had throat slitting. It had neck snapping. It had just live surgery, etc. There was a lot. The whole the way that lots of people died. It was pretty. Plus for me, it had the what do you call it? Punky Brewster bodies. It had Punky Brewster bodies.
Wait, Punky Brewster bodies?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
I can't believe this isn't the first thing you thought of. That was the most disturbing thing.
When they get trapped in the wall,
twitching in the floor, just like that Punky Brewster episode. The most messed up.
Punky Brewster. When he kills all the guys, and they're just
with their arms, or he's frozen in there, and his eyes are still moving.
Oh yeah,
that's like that Punky Brewster thing in the cave.
That's true.
They totally got that from that. It should be called X-Men Apocalypse Punky Brewster. That's the first thing I thought of when they did that effect. I'm that's right out of Punky Brewster, and it's messed up. It's just as creepy as it was on that. His face is just are their arms twitching in the pavement and stuff?
So, but at least in that it's realistic. Whereas in Punky Brewster, that guy's alive in the wall. Yeah. Whereas in that, you're dead. But
they were twitching. They were they were alive still in the wall for a while.
So, but you'd suffocate or whatever.
But he was looking around. That was creepy. That part legitimately creeped me out.
Oh, speaking of creepy, I posted in the Radio BrendoMan group the trailer for
Ring
Kayako versus Sadako. So dumb, they awesome. Go in. So from what I can, because the trailer's in Japanese, but from the trailer, what I gather is they go somehow they have the tape from the ring, and they take it into the Grudge House, and then they play the tape from the ring in the Grudge House. So Sadako comes out of the TV, and then it's got Sadako coming out of the TV and Kayako coming down the stairs.
So they're gonna fight,
and I think they're gonna fight. They better fight.
I want to see that,
but that's 2-on-1 because she's got the Ghost Boy.
Yeah, but does he attack though? I feel like
it showed him drowning that dude.
I guess so.
Doesn't he I don't know.
I thought he was more just like a distraction. Like, I thought she's the one that actually did it, but I don't know. I haven't watched it in a while.
It looks. I hope it comes out here.
Well, I also would love to see like an American version of that with like Sarah Michelle Gellar in it again, or like.
Didn't she die though?
Oh, maybe she did. I can't remember.
I thought everybody died.
Naomi
Isn't that
Watts?
like the whole thing? They all died.
She's still alive.
I don't know. I never watched the second one.
I watched the second of both of them, but only once, and I can't remember.
Well, the second one had the second Grudge at Amber Tamblyn, and then I think in the end of the second Grudge. No, I did see the second Grudge because the end of the second Grudge is like everybody died, like everybody.
Well, maybe they come back. I mean, there's no rules in those things.
Well, I mean, they're fighting now.
Yeah,
which I think that's.
I would like. I think it's like super cheesy and over the top, and also awesome, and I would love to see that.
It also is kind of scary because
it's also a little scary. I just heard Janelle watching
when she does her little spider walk, and then you hear that like.
Janelle was like watching. I didn't know you posted it, and she found it first, and I just heard. I'm like, what are you watching over there? Is that The Grudge? So yeah. All right. What else you got? What have you been watching?
I've been watching WWE Network because now I'm BWS.
Yeah, so you're gonna like be talking about all this on the show.
So NXT's been going strong. Although it's really curious to see what's going to happen. WWE just made a big announcement. You can hear us talking about it more on MBWS. They're going to be they're bringing back the brand split, where they're splitting the roster in half, and so there's going to be a dedicated roster for Raw and a dedicated roster for SmackDown, and then SmackDown's moving to Tuesday nights, and it's going to be live instead of tapes. There's going to be 2 shows, which means 2 rosters, which means they might be bringing up a bunch of people from NXT. Hopefully,
is that short for next? By the way,
well, I think it's kind of
what they're like going for, like the next people coming in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it like literally seems like. So okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
You're very clever.
I figured that one out. Yeah.
And so I'm hoping Finn Balor probably be one of those guys, but then my guy, well, Finn Balor's one of my guys, but Shinsuke Nakamura, I hope they bring him up.
You hope he's next?
I don't know. I don't want him to be like not. I want to be ready, because I know he's ready, but it's also a manner of like adjusting, because he's got to learn how to like do more with less. Does that make sense? Like you don't want to have as many. You don't want to. Like with Mozart, like too many notes.
All right.
You want to have it all out there, and like
you did just compare wrestler to Mozart.
Hey, they're making art.
All right.
But it's like a song and like composing, and you want to, because you got to think about, you're going to be on the road 5 days a week. You got to keep your body, so you can't be going like, I'm not like you can't be doing like a million things in one match, because you got to preserve your body.
All right. Spread it out.
So yeah. And that's what he's learning to do in NXT. So I want to make sure that he's ready when he comes up, because I don't want to be one of those guys that comes up and then gets hurt. Like,
I don't want that for him either.
It happens all the time in wrestling. It's depressing. And also, so speaking of also wrestling, New Japan World, it's the Best of the Super Juniors tournament. I did the pick'em, and I'm already like, I didn't do a good job.
Not do well.
Well, because I thought this one guy was going to do really well, but I forgot that like if it's their first tournament, even if it's like a guy that they really hype up, they usually lose all their matches.
They're freshmen.
And I didn't bet on the freshmen. Consider that. Well, it's like your whole thing, like, oh, I'm new, I don't get to win.
Don't get to do it.
But then I was like, well, Ricochet came in and won it his first time, but with Will Ospreay, that is not what they're doing. And so far, although he did have an awesome match with Ricochet, which was cool seeing him do it in Japan, because I saw the first round 1 in Dallas, and that was one of the highlights. And then they did it in Japan, and then it was the one Japan match though was even better, and it was the loudest I'd ever seen a Japanese crowd. So normally the Japanese crowds, they're very like reserved, but they were actually doing like I had never heard a "This is awesome" chant from a Japanese audience. That's how big. Either. Yes, so that's been exciting, but it has been making. I'm glad that a lot of the shows are over, because if I had to like watch all my regular shows plus this tournament, like, because it's multiple days a week where it's on, and so it's a lot of.
It is summertime. It's your summer show time.
Lucha Underground. I watched the last 2 episodes because we didn't talk about TV last week, so that's why.
Right.
So Lucha Underground, we're approaching Ultima Lucha, so the end of season 2, but we still got a few
Any more good shots of you?
There was a couple this past week, yeah.
Sweet.
Because this whole rest of the show, I'm pretty much in the front. So, although it was it was funny seeing how they edited things because there was they like I found out that they filmed certain things out of order because within the same like episode, there's times where I'm sitting in one place and then other matches where I'm sitting another. I'm like, oh, those are matches from different days,
right?
And they had taped them out of order. So there's one where I'm sitting on one side, and then on the next one I'm sitting on the other side.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, in the same episode. So
little movie magic there.
Yeah. So they must have taped them on different days.
Yeah.
And let's see. Oh yeah, so the last episode is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Excellent. Yeah.
Awesome. And I'm super glad that they're coming back because those are some major.
Yeah. Some
big stuff.
Big moments.
And I loved the way they integrated with Civil War.
Yeah.
Like it became like super like because like it was unlike so when they did leading into Avengers, it was leading into it. This was post.
Yeah.
Civil War. So basically, you watch Civil War, then you watch the next episode like the week after Civil War came out, and now they're
talking about the
Accords and all that stuff, and now like that really affects what's going on with S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really exciting.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was really good. And then like there was a bit of a like I wouldn't say it was kind of a twist. There was some twists like because they had like this whole like this big plan, but then like some of the things that happened I was not expecting.
Yeah.
And it was really good.
Yeah. It was excellent. Excellent. Love that show.
And although now I'm curious, so I don't know if you heard about this, but Marvel's Most Wanted is not getting picked up.
Okay.
That's the spin-off show of the other two. Yeah. So now I'm
Bobby
like, are they gonna just like come back and be like, oh, never mind, guys. Like, hey,
you could meet up with them on the field.
All right, you're back on the team. Even though we said you can never be on the team again. Just kidding.
They found a way.
Maybe they get pardons.
Maybe.
The Russia, because wasn't there like a whole thing?
They can easily write something around that if they want to.
Yeah, because they're like,
spy shows do that all the time.
We had that whole big like tearful goodbye. It's like, never mind.
So why didn't it get picked up though? That would be a cool show.
I don't know. Why did all that other stuff get canceled?
I don't know, because people that make TV are wrong. Still so mad about the Grinder. I cannot even tell you.
Agent Carter and the Muppets, man. Freaking A.
Yep. Grinder.
Game of Thrones has been super awesome. This last week's episode was amazing. So much cool stuff is happening that, like, again, like we're past the books. And although it's weird, some of the things were not past the books. I forgot that there's a few storylines that we still have a little ways to go that aren't past the books. Because like Jaime Lannister's storyline, there's still things that I know is going to happen. And I had forgotten about that. And then there's other things that they're way past the books. Because the way he wrote the books is some of it's like staggered and told from multiple narrators. And so there are some storylines that they've gotten through in the show and other ones they haven't.
Interesting.
And it's also just such good storytelling. I don't really like it. And then the show is really good. And although there was a really gross thing on the show this week.
Yeah, that's why I can't do it. I've heard too many things that I'm like, I can't.
There was a face got cut off.
Yeah.
It showed him cutting a guy's face off because there's like these faceless men, and they somehow like they're like assassins, and then like when they kill you, they take your face, and then they can use then they have like their magic. They're weird, Lecter. And then they can use but they don't take the actual face. They somehow use magic, so now they have it in their library of faces, and then they can use your face for their assassin purposes. But I think the whole ritual or whatever involves cutting off your face, because he was cutting off this dead guy's face, and then it's like that.
Yeah,
and it's not like Silence of the Lambs where they actually wear the dead guy's face.
That was pretty nasty in that. But, oh gosh, all right.
That was like one of the it was great in the movie, and but they that was one of the things where like that book. It's like one of the most Silence of the Lambs is like one of the best adaptations, because like that was one of the most suspenseful part of the book, and then in the movie, like when you realize what is happening, and oh my god, and like you're like it is horrifying, and then also that was one of the few books like movie, or they capture the subtext of the book really well, and like I don't know, it's really good.
Yep, that's why I won an Oscar. Just like we might.
And then we watched the season finale of the Goldbergs.
Yeah,
which was now I'm sad that but they did get picked up.
They are picked up
because I took a Sony survey, and at the end of it, they're like, Goldbergs is coming back. What are you looking forward to?
Oh, I love that show. They can't take that away from us.
It's so good. It was so good, and I loved at the end they had like a blooper thing where they were doing like freestyle where Barry was freestyling. Because oh my gosh,
so funny. It's great. It's great,
and the show is great, and I love more Judd Hirsch because he was like
the dad, the grandpa, the other grandpa
thing with Pop, and then like the ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
I love it.
That show's great.
I love it.
Okay, so you said you like the last 2 episodes because they showed 2. I don't think they're the last 2 of the season, but they showed 2 episodes of Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
There was and you were like, these are the best episodes.
I'm not exaggerating, right?
I don't know. I feel that way every week.
No, I mean they are all wonderful, but the restaurant camp.
The restaurant camp.
Come on, that was amazing.
And then
the whole horse thing.
The horse camp.
The voice
it was Paul Rudd.
Yeah, Paul. Oh, dude.
Like they showed that clip at WonderCon.
Amazing.
And I knew it was. I was
the
musical episode where he's stuck on the toilet.
Where he's glued to the toilet was magical. Like that was the funniest thing I've ever seen. And then was that the same one? I might be getting it mixed up because then there's the one. That was the horse camp was 3 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Because then you had the one where she goes and reads to the old folks.
She reads the old people, and there's the whole thing.
I cried in that episode.
It was so good.
Amazing.
It was really good. Hit all the strings.
Yeah, hilarious, but also whoever did the old lady was really
just
funny.
Really captured the spirit of the show. That this is a good-natured show. It's weird, it's quirky, but it comes from a good place.
I was talking to someone, I can't remember, and I was telling them you gotta watch Bob's Burgers, and well, I hate watching Family Guy. And I'm this is not like that. It's not comparable at all.
Not at all.
And I'm whatever. You may or may or not enjoy Family Guy, but this is not like that. Don't let other adult targeted animation put you off on it.
Well, there's plenty of good shows. I mean, this gets more from The Simpsons or something else.
Yeah.
And it's way more of that than Family Guy. And it's also, you think about if you look at who's making this show, his other shows, you have Home Movies and Dr. Katz. It's definitely more that, and then all the voices behind it. It's definitely not.
It's just the best.
It's weird. It's funny. It's all the funniest comedians.
Yeah, everybody's on it.
Everybody's on it, and it's the funniest show, and it's great. I mean, Kevin Kline. It's amazing.
You have Oscar winners in this thing.
Yeah,
we might be.
And speaking of, also Jenny Slate.
Yeah,
multiple Jenny Slate voices, and she's great and everything. And so I watched Bob's Burgers, and Last Man on Earth.
Yeah, spoiler alert, I guess if you haven't seen it. But oh my gosh, they're gonna leave on the craziest cliffhanger since Lost.
I feel like we have talked about this.
Maybe we did. Maybe we talked about that.
That cliffhanger is nuts.
Yeah, but
that was the cliffhanger. At first, I'm that's not the end of the season.
Yeah, it's
the end of the season. Of course it is. Oh, this guy is it's like the others.
Yeah. Now that we're saying it out loud, though, I'm pretty sure we had this already.
Yeah. Or was that on Mandarian Orange Show?
I can't remember now. My whole thing is all mixed.
You have 2 shows now.
I know. I try to keep a lot of overlap every once in a while, but I try to talk about different things,
Okay, what do you got on the DVD on demand?
All right, well, we're talking about Bob's Burgers, blah blah. Just one day, working around the house, put on some Ferris Bueller. Probably haven't watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off I don't know, 10 years or something like that. Gosh, that is a great movie. It's just fantastic.
I actually have a rare copy of it that has the John Hughes commentary.
Oh, yeah.
Later copies, he took that off.
Yeah.
And nobody knows why. He never said why, because it's a really good commentary, and it's one of the only commentaries he ever did.
Yeah. But it's just a fantastic movie. I remember loving it when I was a kid. Loving it in college, and it's been a while since I've watched it, and I haven't put on some Bueller. And man, it's just great.
Okay, so somebody did talk about this. As you get older, do you have more sympathy for Jeannie?
Yeah, a little bit.
Jeannie is not in the wrong
No.
ever in that whole movie.
No, I see that. I definitely see that. And in the end, she like has compassion on him, you know.
And she didn't
for no reason. Like he didn't deserve it.
Especially the way she ends up in more like she ends up like in like serious trouble.
Yeah.
And like all because and also you're like, and then it's also weird because Jennifer Grey, and you look up and it's weird. There's multiple things about Jennifer Grey that are weird.
Well, yeah, and she's like talked openly about the way that her like nose surgery affected her.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
And then she's married to Clark Gregg, Agent.
Yeah. But also Charlie Sheen's like little cameo in that movie.
And then that reminded me of the cameo in the Goldbergs, which was like the greatest thing.
So just all top to bottom, absolutely fantastic. Love that movie. Then we watched several more Kroll shows. Also great. Pleep Ploop till the end. Pleep Ploop Ploop. Pleep Pleep Ploop. Pleep 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 Ploop. So that's
going to London.
You're going to London. Oh, it's a Pleep Ploop. That's one of my favorites. But then I watched a documentary. This was another like workday one. But I got pretty well distracted.
I think this is on.
It's on. I think this one is on Hulu. It's called Plastic Galaxy: The Story of Star Wars Toys, and it was like the biggest like nostalgia nerd out fest. Like, I mean, the guys on this show are like mega nerd collectors, and they have stuff I don't have. But there's quite a few things like, oh, I have this, and no one has this, and I'm like, I got that. Not all of them. They have lots of like way crazier stuff than I have. But it was just as someone who has a nerdy collection of Star Wars toys, it was kind of fun to watch. So
yeah.
And then that was it. That was it on those.
So on Netflix, I watched Lady Dynamite, which is the Maria Bamford's new show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're talking
about it. It is crazy.
You like it though?
It's really good. I'm be curious to see because it's really weird. It's super crass. I don't know if it's your style.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. I've watched the trailer about 50 times because on my phone I have the Pleep Ploop video saved, and the commercial that automatically plays beforehand is the trailer for that. So I've probably watched it 50 times.
Everybody is in it. I think it's hilarious. There's tons of really funny comedians, and like it's so weird. Like it's really funny. I think it's really funny. A lot of really clever stuff. I really loved it.
Now that, like you said, now that shows are over, this is when I'll like poke around and try stuff.
And then while I was poking around, the usual, just like check out recently added on Netflix, or they added a new special random, really specific subcategory, or like because you like this, and there's some awesome. Because I need more recommendations for my 500 plus queue. That's like I've broken the Netflix.
You're done
queue. So I'm just doing it, and then I realized like, I never finished Skins, and they went back and did so I got to like season 6, and then I didn't finish season 6, and then so I watched the first 2 seasons. I watched like the first, I think 3 seasons, like on Netflix, like I didn't know about the show.
Okay.
And then because it's this BBC, it's like a really crazy, it's like extreme teen show where like imagine now to know, except all the kids are doing coke and ecstasy.
Okay.
Like where it's like kids I have never met kids that do. I think there were kids in my high school like this, but I never hung out with them. But like if you watch this show, you would think that every high school in Britain, like there's like serious drug abuse problems, which maybe there is. I don't know, but it's like basically these kids are doing like hard drugs, and I'm like, well, that's nuts. But it's like really crazy, but it's also really good, and there's really good music. And anyways, so I watched like the first 3 seasons that were on Netflix, and then I watched it as it was released going forward.
Okay.
And then at some point I stopped doing that, and now the show is done, and it got to, so they did the first 6 seasons, and also there's a lot of big people went on to do big things, like Nick Holt,
right?
It was what he did after About a Boy, but before X-Men, and then the Slumdog Millionaire guy, Dev Patel.
Oh, okay.
He was in season 1 also, and then some other people that have been in other things are in it. and in other seasons. And yeah, like the girl from the Maze Runner is in season 3 and 4.
Right.
And then they did a season 7 where so every 2 seasons they completely flip the cast, like completely new cast, which is really smart because that's the peril of a teen show.
Right.
And this one they didn't even do like as soon as the kids graduate high school, they are done, and then they did like the next class. And there was always some link between but it was always even like a loose link. Like the 3rd season, it's like the little sister of Nick Holt's character and her friends, and then there's some new link to the next, and then like there's the next series after that. And so, wow, I'm talking about this a whole lot.
Yeah,
but
great detail.
But it's a really good show, and so I forgot that I finished it. So so season 7, which is what I really want to watch, they brought back a few people from each of the old casts.
Okay.
And I think Nick Holt has a cameo because this was like when he was huge, and some of them they brought some people back, and I want to watch those ones.
Is he like
to get that
McCoy in this one?
Yeah, he's like, I'm Beast now. Like,
also, I need to go. This is back on X-Men real quick, but I need to go back, I guess, and watch him like in close succession. But wasn't Professor X already bald from the last one? I could have sworn there was a time when he went bald already in one of these, like next series one.
Non-McAvoy.
You sure there wasn't an already balding episode?
I'm very sure.
I could have sworn that happened.
I'm pretty sure. Josh
is
positive.
All right. Maybe just because they showed it in the trailers or something.
You just watch that scene, and that iconic scene, which ended up being the last shot of the movie.
So. I guess that's it.
Well, anyways, I watched The Skins, and I'm almost done with that season. I watched a bunch of episodes, but it's good.
Sweet.
And then, but some of the episodes, I'm like, all right, this is pretty nutsos. Like, it's pretty, like, I don't know, but it's good.
So speaking of Netflix, real quick, did you see like the deal that they made this week?
What?
Supposedly they struck like a big deal with Disney for Pixar and all that stuff.
I thought they already did that. Like a bunch of those movies are already on Netflix.
I don't know.
But I think they were talking about there's like all, because there's like some 90s movies and some of them aren't on there, but like a lot of them are. But like but this is gonna be like even more.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then like new stuff. We're gonna get like
Marvel and Lucasfilm stuff.
We already have a lot of that stuff, but I think we're getting like Force Awakens and more stuff.
Oh, it says they're exclusive.
And they're
now.
exclusive.
And it's all of the Marvel and Pixar stuff.
So
I'm just saying that's good. That's good things because
there's
a lot of good content there.
But they're also dumping a ton. There was like a huge dumping of stuff.
But that's just how it goes. Like,
well, because they're spending. Well, it's not. It's just they're spending more money on their own stuff,
right?
And as a result, they're just want to spend because like some of those contracts they had, like they just weren't.
But since the beginning, they've rotated through content. I love every month.
Anybody that says they can't find anything to watch, I'm like, you're crazy, or you just really like.
But every month they post those lists where it's like what's leaving from Netflix, and inevitably the comments below, I'm not watching Netflix. I'm not going to do Netflix anymore. They got rid of this movie that I like. I'm like, that movie's probably been on there for 6 years, and you never bothered to watch it before, and now you're going to cancel your subscription.
There's plenty of other stuff to watch.
Josh says Rachel's been watching the Chelsea show.
Yeah, because it's an actual you could. It's 3 times a week, and it's like a talk.
I'm telling you, like stuff on demand. I mean, what do you call it? Streaming services or the new TV? Like,
oh yeah, I mean that's what it should be.
Networks, you're done.
Hopefully,
it's hand it over.
Now now it's like this ongoing. They're gonna drag that battle out for as long as they can.
I know, but I'm ready to give it all over to them because everything that the streaming.
Well, Josh, you're one of those people that actually likes watching people play video games.
Says he watches more YouTube than anything else.
Yeah, because
I'm fine. I'm saying like streaming services, download stuff, YouTube, whatever. That's all. It's all better than watching it on network television.
I agree.
It's time. Cable, you're done. Just give it all over. Josh says Monster Factory is better than anything on TV. I don't even know what Monster Factory is. Yeah,
it's that one where they like make like the characters and games and make monster characters.
That sounds cool
and stuff.
Sounds better than
video game stuff
or whatever. 2.5 Big Bang Theories. All right, you know what time it is?
It's time.
That's right.
It's time. It's Marmaduke time.
All right, Marmaduke. Let's see. Last week we had the when he tried to freeze Marmaduke to death outside. Remember?
Yeah, which is crazy.
All right, let's see. All right, Marmaduke is well. First of all, Phil, the dad, sitting on his chair. Marmaduke's all excited, and Phil says, "Oh, you would like to make a New Year's resolution too, eh?" Oh, so he's writing down on a pad of paper their New Year's resolution.
So he's talking to Marmaduke.
Yes.
And Marmaduke is shaking his head.
Yeah, like he understands.
So yeah, this continues our theory that Marmaduke contains the soul of Phil's dead father.
So then Phil says, "Okay, let's see. No more chewing up my slippers." Marmaduke does not look happy about this. "No more taking over the master's chair." He calls himself the master. "And no more storing bones in the refrigerator." Now Marmaduke's just getting angry. "No more chasing the mailman." Now Marmaduke looks like he's going to eat his face off. "Hey!" Just a big old text bubble that says, "Hey." And then the mom said, we figured out what the mom's name was. What was it? Dottie. Dottie says, "Did Marmaduke make any New Year's resolutions?" And then we see the back of his head. This looks like in Psycho when you just see the back of his mother's head on the chair.
Yeah.
It's like that frame shot exactly. And it says, "Yes." And it turns around and he's like been shredded and beat up and chewed up.
Marmaduke finally snapped.
Marmaduke finally snapped.
Marmaduke like murdered Phil.
He shreds the chair. His clothes are ripped up. And Phil just says, "No more New Year's resolutions." And all you see is like Marmaduke's backside.
So Marmaduke finally snapped. But you're supposed to like feel bad for Phil or like this is funny. But knowing Marmaduke's past, like this is like
he finally got
this is catharsis.
Yeah. Because he's like, "Here, I'm going to take away the final." Marmaduke hears Phil say, "I'm taking away your final freedoms. No more chasing. No more bones. You don't get to sit in a chair. I'm your master." And that's it. Marmaduke lost it. Look at that.
Sent him a message.
And the kids all smiling and the mom's all smiling.
Like knowing the history, like this is not funny. This
family is like psychotic.
Yeah.
Seriously. The next step is going to be like Psycho. Like Marmaduke's going to walk around in Phil's clothes, stealing cars and driving. And the little girl is going to be operating the business out front and talking about father. And it's going to be the dog running around murdering everyone. That's where I think the storyline is going here. Or something like that.
I love that. Like it just shows like Marmaduke walking away. Like, yeah.
Like he just left him to die.
The dog just like killed Phil. And he's like, is he like bleeding?
Well, yeah, like everything is shredded. His clothes are ripped up. He's like hunched over.
He's got these scribbles of like blood. Yeah, dude, Marmaduke cut him up.
Yeah.
And the kid's like smiling.
The kid's like, "Oh,
haha, killed dad."
I'm telling you, they are psychotic. And the mom's all happy and fine with it.
His facial expression.
This shot right here is framed exactly like that final shot in Psycho when they approach Mother in the basement. I'm not even kidding. Maybe he's like Hitchcock influenced, you know? Like Marmaduke is framed for a crime he didn't commit. Maybe he didn't really steal all those trash cans in the truck.
Maybe it's really Phil.
Could be.
Maybe Marmaduke is the
Phil's
projection.
been setting him up.
Maybe there is no Marmaduke.
Oh my gosh, it is. It's like his split personality.
But the kids play with him.
I don't know. There's something though.
Maybe Marmaduke, like Phil, is a projection of Marmaduke.
Maybe so. Maybe Marmaduke's not real.
No, I said that's my first.
I mean, maybe Phil's not real. Yeah.
I still think I more prefer that Marmaduke is the enslaved soul of Phil's dead father.
I could see that, but I do think there's some Hitchcock influence, though.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you watched some of that. Maybe he was thinking that.
Maybe he just thought that would be funny to reproduce that shot.
Yeah. I don't know.
We'll never know now because he's dead.
We'll never know. But we have found out that Marmaduke is much deeper than we once thought. So, gotta give it to you. I can't wait to have Marmaduke #2. So, whenever that happens, we're very excited.
Whenever that happens, we're excited. And get excited for next week's Radio BrendoMan.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week.
Same BrendoMan channel.
Listen to all the other Benview Network podcasts. Listen to that new MBWS.
Yeah.
MBWSpod.com. Hit us up. Go to radiobrendo.com. Go to BenviewNetwork.com. BrendoMan@gmail.com is our email address. Use that contact form. Tweet us at BrendoMan. Rate and review on iTunes. Use those Amazon and DreamHost links on the radiobrendo.com website. Phil, anything else before we go?
Join our book club and encourage me to read more Harry Potter.
Get your Harry Potter on.
I need some help.
I think this is going to be this difficult for you.
I didn't think it was until I hit this one.
I think I could lap you again, like right now.
Probably could at this point.
But now I'm in the Game of Thrones mode.
Well, now I'm past the sports, so I'll pick it back up
still
again.
Could come
probably
back
could.
around.
You probably could. But
my summer's coming up, and I really could do it.
Yeah, it's true. You have summer.
I do.
You have summer break. You're almost to summer break.
I am.
Did you ever think you'd have summer break again?
I didn't, and I'm very excited.
Pretty cool.
As long as I don't mess up the next few more days of work.
You probably have to do something pretty bad at this point, right?
Well, if I just drop this, there's like a $5,000 poster maker in the library.
Don't
right
do
now
that.
I have to set up.
Don't drop it.
I won't.
Don't do it.
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, get some help.
Hopefully.
What if that? Don't do that. What if that happened?
It's not gonna happen.
Don't let that happen.
It won't happen.
Okay, good. It's a good job.
It is.
I'm excited. You got to go on a field trip.
One of the kids I couldn't find to check in, I was worried. I'm like, oh, did I lose a kid? And then it turned out they were like making out with some guy like
Of course.
behind the
These
arcade.
are high school kids, right?
They're 8th graders.
Oh, well, close enough. What do you
Close
think they were
enough.
going to do? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, and then I told him, I'm like, if you miss another check-in, you're gonna get to hang out with me for 3 hours. How does that sound? And then she never
No. Come up
because
for a
I didn't
breath.
want to get in trouble. Like, oh, I lost a kid my first field trip.
Now, that would be bad. You want to get to go on more field trips too.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you for listening,
Thank you,
everybody. You're awesome.
And again, you guys are great.
Yeah. Josh, thanks for hanging out in the chat for a little bit here.
He said,
Indeed.
What's the name of this episode?
What's the name of this episode?
Mm-hmm.
Eligible for Oscar nomination. Possible nomination.
Oscar nomination eligible.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
I like it. Something like that. Because we might be, guys. This is a big step.
Really? No. Like, no, we're not.
It is possible. Previous to this, it was not even possible.
Okay.
We had never done something that was eligible for being nominated for an Oscar. Now we have. That's a big step. Nothing else, we get an IMDb page.
You do.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
I'm excited for that too.
Are you gonna get? Well, you have to have IMDb Pro to be able to edit,
To get, like, a
upload your
headshot.
resume and stuff.
Josh has an IMDb. Maybe in my IMDb bio, it'll say friends with Josh
like
Anderson.
in your trivia.
Yeah, it'll say it's friends with Joshua Anderson, and then I'll have a link to your IMDb page, Josh.
I'm gonna submit things to get. I didn't know Josh had one. And the funniest, we had a thing going on. I forgot whose IMDb page it was, and it's just because anybody can submit trivia things and coming up with the weirdest
See what you can get
trivia
in
stuff. Oh, it was because Brian Lynch's has some really funny stuff.
Yeah.
I think Brian Johnson put in some of them, and just seeing what sticks.
Does your bio say stuff about how you like cats, Josh? I gotta go on Josh's page. I didn't even know.
I'm gonna put some weird Josh facts, but I'm gonna make so many weird Phil facts.
I can't wait. I can't wait to have an IMDb page.
Phil facts.
Will people discuss us? In the little message boards underneath? Who are these?
Oh yeah,
idiots?
message board posts.
Never heard of these dudes.
I'm gonna put saw him at the mall.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Can't believe I bumped into him.
Saw him at the Chinese restaurant.
Let's go on Josh's message board and start talking about
Yeah.
stuff. Okay.
Totally gonna do that. All right. Well, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, we better wrap this up.
All right. Well, for Radio BrendoMan, I'm Brendan Creecy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
Have a good one, everybody. The second one we always go long.
Yep.
We're really good with the first one.
Yep. Well, it's still much shorter than it has been. What is Josh saying? I can't see the chat. It's saving, so I can't read what you're saying. All I can see is have that that's really interesting, whatever it is.
Oh, I forgot to talk about Saturday Night Live.
I try to think something. I have no idea how. I can't get them to believe that
We don't have a YouTube from the live show There was no internet.
Yeah, they didn't have internet because they had just opened. He didn't even have his internet set up yet. So you have to just see it.
The stuff you recorded. Oh, that's what Phil.
Yeah, it's on my camera. I have to get it off the memory card. I haven't done it yet, but I will. It's been crazy this week, but good. Had last minute mother-in-law visits, so I haven't gotten done a lot of stuff that I should have gotten done. I have to when I go home tonight, I have to go edit the entire podcast for those guys.
Whoa.
Yeah, I've got like 4 hours of work to do tonight still.
You better get going.
I need to. Also, that Slurpee is really gone through me. So.
All right, well, I'm turning off the YouTube.
Good night, everyone.